Hello and welcome to the Wrestling Answers podcast. I'm your host, as always, Miyamo Jeff53, joined as ever by my wonderful co-host, Joebot22.
Look, I stumbled. I was thinking of an intro.
He's bricked it. He's flopped.
I was gonna do Uptown Girl. And I was thinking the Macarena, but
They are two quite different songs, Joe.
they're very different. But no, we'll leave it. Hello everyone. Hello. Well,
Mm.
fuck. I'm angry now.
Pissed off at yourself.
You know what I'm like when I don't get my good intros.
Yeah.
Well, good.
Well. So yes, this is episode 19 of the Wrestling Answers podcast. I'm surprised we've made it this far. But you know, we're on that hustle, we're on that grind. We'll keep going until one of us just can't be bothered anymore. And it'll probably be me.
It will probably never be me. Like,
Yeah.
I'm too much of a simp.
Yeah.
Jack could be like, "Hey, let's film a video. We cliff dive," and I'd be like, "Oh, good idea." Oh,
I
God.
mean, we could film that.
No. We're stopping this now. No.
So yes, yeah, episode 19. It's the day after Money in the Bank, and talking about Money in the Bank, that leads us right on to our first topic, which obviously I gave Joe this list of topics before Money in the Bank happened, and it turns out I'm a fucking genius, me, because our first topic is: are there any WWE returns we'd like to see? And I think we've seen one of them, haven't we, Joe?
I didn't see anyone. I
Oh
didn't.
wow, yeah.
I was sticking with the joke. I'm sorry.
That's, that's,
It was a
that's
good joke. No one reacted to it.
This is great banter. It
It,
really
it was
is.
very hilarious.
Yeah.
Quite comedic.
So yes, if you couldn't tell, Mr. Jonathan Cena has returned to the World Wrestling Entertainment
Is
last
this
night
just
at.
like a cameo, or is it a
No,
long
no, no,
standing?
no. He said he's going to be. This isn't a one-time thing. He is going to be returning. I'm assuming for a program with Reigns, which is why he interrupted Reigns. Um, but yeah, he's back, and I think everything is pointing towards Cena versus Roman at SummerSlam now. We'll just quickly touch on Money in the Bank in general, really. I was right with my prediction of Big E winning Money in the Bank because I am a genius and I know these things.
It's something we all wanted, but I don't think that they
Yeah,
would actually go ahead with it.
nah, I knew it. I know it. See, I know these things.
I should have never dealt with you. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm head of the booker, mate. I'm head of the booking table. I'm the one who I rang John up and was like, "Oi, Johnny boy, wanna run down to the ring, have a stare off with Mr. Reigns for a bit?" And he was like, "Hoi, chin booning ching." Um,
You'll get it next year, Kevin. I'm still believing it.
Willie
I think that's
bollocks,
who I
mate.
said at first, wasn't
Ship sailed for Kevin Owens, I feel like. But anyway, we're not talking about Kevin
it?
Owens. We're talking about just who won the Money in the Bank. So neither of us got the prediction right for the women's match.
I thought you were gonna say neither of us won it.
Well, that is true.
Oh,
Neither of us did
really?
win it.
Really?
Uh, Shocking news. Yeah.
Uh,
So someone. Well, actually, when we did the predictions, which was only last week, they hadn't announced everyone for the women's match. At least they'd announced everyone for the men's match. Because for the women's match they only had six, but they added two more, which were Liv Morgan and Nikki Cross. I tried to remember what her name was.
who
And lo
cares?
and behold, Nikki Cross won.
Wow.
Great. Yeah, good for her. Now she has to either beat Bianca Belair or Charlotte Flair. So I don't think that's going to go very well for her. Much as I like Nikki Cross. Yeah, you're not beating 14-time women's champion Charlotte Flair and Bianca Belair, who could probably throw a
14
car.
times.
14-time, yes, because she beat Rhea Ripley last night. You know, in your favourite matchup, Rhea Ripley versus
They've done it
Charlotte
again.
Flair.
Oh.
He's done it again. I think it's the second time they've done it in a row now, because they did it at whatever the last pay-per-view was. Hell in a Cell.
No one wants to see it. Why?
Well, I feel like what they're doing is they're
It's
giving
boring. It's
Charlotte.
lazy.
Well, what they're doing is they're giving Charlotte 16 runs with the belts, aren't they?
Oh, what? To be like, oh,
To
not
yeah,
Ric
to
Flair.
to copy Rick because God knows she hasn't copied enough off of him.
Why would they have to? I doubt Charlotte wants to just be Ric Flair too. Like,
Yeah, no, I know, but I think. I mean,
it's
I,
not
I
fair.
don't think she's going to say no to having 16 reigns with the women's championship, though, is she?
I would.
All right, hard man, can't.
Well,
Well, yeah,
no.
because you're not a woman, are you?
If it's 16 reigns, right? How would you want to spend the reigns? You don't want to just be like, oh, I won it, then I lost it, then I won it, then I lost
Well,
it.
to be fair, Charlotte has had like long reigns with the title, or the titles, rather.
Yeah, but most of them have just been, oh yeah, I had it for a month, then I fucking lost
Yeah,
it on the third of Superstars.
I suppose, yeah, but
Lost at a house show.
no, it's very
I don't know why
similar
I'm
to
doing
how
such a
it,
deep voice.
it's similar to how Flair's title runs went, though. Most of Flair's title runs, at least in WCW, probably lasted like 3 weeks, and then he would drop it to somebody in a house show, and he'd win it back the next night. Like,
That was a different time though.
yeah, yeah. Obviously, they
That
weren't,
was
booking
before
for
it was
TV.
like,
They weren't booking for
yeah.
main time TV every single week. But yeah. So back to our first topic. I think we've covered Money in the Bank. The rest of the matches are not really important. The Usos won the tag belts. That's about it. Um, SmackDown
They've
tag title
added
push.
16 times.
Only had them 7 apparently. 7-time tag team champions. The Usos. The New Day are 11-time though. So. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Kofi got absolutely battered by Bobby Lashley in their title match. Like
he was in a title.
absolutely battered. Like I saw a clip. He threw him out of the ring. So Bobby's got him in like a military press in the ring. He just lobs him at the announce desk, like he's a fucking, literally like he's like a box of cardboard or something. It's ridiculous.
I'm so out of touch with wrestling now. Like,
Mm.
what?
Yeah. Well, yeah. So back to our actual topic at hand. Are there any WWE returns we'd like to see? One of the obvious ones I was actually going to say would have been Cena, if Cena hadn't, returned. So we've already got that one. And I feel like I know one of the ones you might say, and if you don't, I will. But yeah, Joe, you just rattle off any returns you feel like would be quite cool.
I'm trying to think of one that you think I would say now. It's gonna be like Brodus Clay or something. But no. So there's a few that I feel. What? Oh, right. Are we saying like injuries? Because there's a few I can
Well,
list up there.
I mean more like ones who aren't with the
But you
company.
said within. You said. Oh, okay. Yeah, you said within reason. So I guess.
Yeah, but by within reason, I mean like you're not going to get CM Punk coming back. You're not going to get
Oh,
Cody
I
Rhodes
was gonna
coming
say
back.
CM
You're
Punk
not
was a joke. I thought you would like instantly find
funny.
a new co-host, and I didn't want to take that chance. But no. Yeah, because I was gonna say like Tyson Kidd and all, but
Well, I was going to say I don't really think he medically could, but well then again, Edge could. So maybe in a
who
few
knows?
years. But at the
Body's
same
working
time,
really good.
maybe in a few years it'll be too late. And he's already working as a producer backstage, so it's like, is it worth it? But yeah, sorry, carry on.
So this one's gonna be. He's sort of old now. But still think it'd be cool for him to come
Hulk
back.
Hogan.
Great Carly. No, no, not Hulk Hogan. The Great Carly. There's not enough big guys anymore. Um, and I just feel like it's just a bunch of people doing flippy shit. Let's get the Great Khali back.
you,
Also,
you want your
speaking
old
of big
school
men coming
wrestling
back,
back. You want your old school wrestling
uh,
back.
exactly. Get Braun Strowman back. He's probably like the more likely to come back.
Yeah, I feel like
Um,
give him a couple months when their books are more stable, they'll probably bring him back.
Another one that I want back, Damien Sandow.
Oh, bloody Aaron
Just,
Rex.
just have him job out. Just have him like that. I think that
Listen,
would just
right?
be
When
provide some more entertainment.
when the first thing you do after getting sacked by WWE is you go and you have a feud with Adam Blampied in WCPW, I think at that point it's time to just admit your career's finished. So I don't think he will be coming back, considering he had a feud with Adam Blampied, of all people. Not even Adam Pacitti, just Blampied.
Adam Pacitti.
Hey,
My
Adam Pacitti.
next person that I want to
I
bring
love
back,
Adam
Adam
Pacitti.
Pacitti.
Does
I would cry if he was at the next Rumble.
Adam Pacitti comes. AJ Hazard comes in at number 30. Bloody hell.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
love Adam. I love Adam Pacitti. He's a funny bloke.
Right. Who else do I want back? Um, is Samoa Joe even in the company still?
Yes, yeah. So he rejoined a couple weeks ago. But he's in NXT now. He is William Regal, who is the GM of NXT, of course. He's William Regal's enforcer. So he's like, I guess like,
Enforcer.
well, pretty much he just comes out and he just bullies Karrion Kross like all the time.
Yeah, I was gonna say I wanted him back in NXT. So
Well, there you go. You got it. He's not cleared to wrestle though, still, which is
that's
ridiculous.
fine.
But
We'll take that.
at least he's back in the company, right? You know, at least he's still
Exactly.
there. That's what's important.
And the final one, because he's just not done anything. I think for his own personal safety, um,
Bo
just
Dallas.
that rider back.
Zack Ryder. Zack Ryder is doing things. You know, he's worked with Impact a couple times. Um, he's
Yeah.
working with what's the company called? GCW, which is like a hardcore company. He's started working with them, I suppose.
Hardcore.
Uh,
That rider hardcore.
Zack Ryder. Yeah, Zack Ryder's the most hardcore guy I know, mate.
He just
He,
he just smashes
he just smashes action
hands
figures over people's head. Yeah, but
He walks out
he,
to the ring with fucking Ninja Turtles figures.
yeah, no, he like he goes under the
Pulls
ring
out
and
a
he
new
put
Transformer.
pulls out the WWE Elite Series Macho Man Randy Savage, and he takes it out of the box and then whacks him with it.
Oh, God, how could you?
Bloody Zack Ryder, man. So yeah, that's all your returns.
Oh, and
You,
of course, Wade Barrett. Because he's the
way
goat.
back, yeah, okay. Well, you've actually omitted one that I thought you would have said quite early on. Especially when you mentioned the great Khali, you said there weren't enough big
Oh, do
men
you think I was going to say
in
the Big
wrestling.
Show?
No, there weren't enough big men. Well, I know of a big
Oh,
guy.
the big guy.
The big guy,
I think that
Ryback.
I would love Ryback.
Get him in. Get him in. I want Ryback back. I want Rye back. I want him back. I just want to see him back on TV, man. I miss Ryback. I do.
I think that's another one for his.
Mate, imagine, right? Ryback comes back. Bobby Lashley versus Ryback. I would pay good money to see that match. Two massive men smashing into each other. Whoa.
All Ryback does nowadays just post pictures of himself naked on Instagram.
And then he posts polls on his Twitter saying, "Should I retire?" Which we talked about on the podcast, didn't we?
Yeah, yeah.
We called him a marketing genius. Or at least I did.
No, I agree with it.
Yeah. But yeah, what other returns would I like to see? Gosh, for realistic returns, I feel like you've probably said most of them. I think Eric Rowan, maybe. Um, Big Cass. I think they're quite realistic ones that could happen. Big Cass, I would say, actually, I would quite like to see back because he has promise still in his career. When he had his singles run, he was going through like a really tough time. Like he was, I remember he said in a shoot interview, a couple of months after he got fired, he was like on all sorts of stuff. Um, so obviously he wasn't in the best shape. He wasn't in the right mindset. He had like a bad attitude backstage and stuff. Probably because he was on all these, different things and drugs and stuff. But yeah, I've seen him like in the independents recently, and the guy's fucking jacked now. Like he's still relatively young in wrestling terms, at least. Like he's only like 30 or something, so he's still got years left in the industry. And he's in much better shape now than he was. His wrestling skills seem to have improved somewhat. Yeah, I think as long as his mic skills improve a bit, maybe don't bring Enzo back, but bring Big Cass back. Turn him into a big monster heel. Yeah, I'd like to see that.
I feel like Enzo is what held back Big Cat.
Um,
I mean, it's debatable, I guess, but
yeah, I think it as a single star it held him back, but as a tag team they worked perfectly. It's just
oh, absolutely. She got
when they split the
that.
tag team up, that's when it all fell apart because they split them up too soon because Cass wasn't ready and Enzo by himself is crap.
It just works because you got the small cocky guy
Yeah, who
and you got
does
the
all
big
your mic
fella.
stuff for you, and then you've got Big
It's
Cass who
needed.
only has to say like 3 words.
Exactly, it just works.
Yes, yeah, that dynamic worked perfectly, and to this day I still don't really understand why they stopped it. Like I know Cass got injured at one point, so Enzo had like his first singles run. Then when he came back, he pretty much just turned heel on Enzo straight away. But like I don't know, it just never felt right. Especially having Enzo be a face. That never ever felt right.
Yeah, why was he the face?
Well, to be fair,
Like you still could have had Big Cass attack Enzo, but make Cass the
yeah.
face by saying, "Oh, you were a cunt to me. You call me like I'm like a Braun
I was
Strowman
gonna
being
say
the
yeah, because
manager.
when they came back,
You call me
if I remember
stupid."
if I remember correctly, Enzo was in the it might have been just before this actually, but I'm pretty sure Enzo was like showing like heelish tendencies and stuff. Like he was always like bad mouthing people, but not in like a funny face way. Like he's just being a dickhead. So I think when he returned, rather than turning Enzo face, they could have had Cass. I don't know, Cass sort of come back, and Enzo's a bit like, "Oh, I don't need you anymore. I'm doing fine by myself." And he starts like calling him, I don't know, Beanpole. What do you,
Exactly. Just
I don't.
just
I
make
mean,
Enzo
how
work.
are you gonna insult a fucking 6'10" or sorry 7 foot tall in quotation marks because he wasn't 7 foot tall, but how are you gonna how are you gonna insult a quote unquote 7 foot tall fucking professional wrestler like what you tall you got yeah you tally you
His hair was weird.
beanpole yeah well, there you go call him greasy hair there you go. And it just
It's like
says,
greasy
your
slick
hair is
back.
greasy.
It ain't no easy to be that disgusting.
You're looking SAWFT. Soft. And
You
then
fucking ugly, you cunt.
Cass just goes, why are you bullying me, Enzo? I don't like
He just
it.
cried to fucking Stephanie.
Yeah. It's like, no, it's just like when Stephanie made Big Show cry. Like,
You gotta cry, Cass.
you're gonna cry, Cass.
You
And
gotta
he just
cry
goes,
like an SAWFT soft.
He's just going, stop bullying me, Enzo and Stephanie. He just clarts Enzo in the head. There you go. Look at that. Booked your main event for WrestleMania there, ladies and gents.
We're like Adam Blomfield. How we would book.
I would hope we're not like Adam Blompier. Yeah, so any other returns? Realistic? I don't really think there's that many. Other
There's
than
not
the ones
that
you've
many
already
realistic ones.
mentioned.
I would like to see like
If we were going like all the
Cena
way
and
out
Rowan.
there, if we're going all the way out there, of course I want to see The Rock come back for like a WrestleMania feud with Reigns, because I mean that's been on the cards
Yeah.
for like 5 years at this point. Like I'm sure The Rock wouldn't mind coming back for one match at WrestleMania because he said himself he's not retired yet. Like he said he's still willing to work with the company again. So I think WrestleMania this year's in Hollywood, right? So well this
Oh,
upcoming one's in Hollywood. Well there you go, that's perfect. That's
you could get
literally
everyone. You could
perfect.
get
Yeah.
Batista and
Bro, you can get Batista and all his other Hollywood mates. Who else was to be fair, there aren't that many wrestlers who branched off into acting. There's literally like Batista. Edge was in
Lana.
Vikings. Like,
He was in that one film.
yeah, yeah, I suppose.
Otis.
Yeah,
He was in that. He was in that wrestling film, wasn't
yeah.
he? Sheamus was in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
He was. He was. Was he Rocksteady or Bebop? I can't remember.
I think he was Rocksteady.
Right. I think. Oh, Big E voices a character on one of the Adult Swim cartoons. I know that much. Yeah, I can't really think of anything else.
Um,
Yeah. Well, I think it makes
I'm
sense
just
though,
thinking of
doesn't it?
acting.
Yeah.
We should do that one
Hey, I think that
next.
just makes sense though, doesn't it? The Rock versus Roman Reigns in Hollywood in the main event. Yeah. I mean that'll draw, won't it? That to
Get
me,
Steven and Mel back.
that feels like Hogan versus The Rock, but the roles have been like, reversed. The Rock was like the current star and Hogan was the past star. Now, The Rock he's on the other side of the ring, isn't he? So I think that's
Oh,
something you could use. And WrestleMania 38, 20 years since that match at WrestleMania 18 as well. Like it's
it
all
worked.
coming together here. It's all coming together. If they don't do that match now, either The Rock's a pussy-o or the bookers are stupid. Because that is money, alright?
Like it's so
Money.
golden.
It is money.
Tweet at him.
I will. I'll at The Rock. I'll be like, oi, big man. Pussy-o.
Dwayne, will you return?
Yeah, oi,
Please?
pussy-o Dwayne. Get in that ring now, fam. Allow that.
I'm surprised that John Cena has come back.
I'm not. Because,
I, he's got a
well,
film coming out, and he's got like a TV show coming out soon, and
yes, but they're already filmed though, aren't they?
I
So if he's already
suppose.
filmed them all, then it doesn't really matter.
But still,
I mean, the Rock.
whatever.
I
John
think
Cena.
like the problem with the Rock is the Rock's a lot busier than Cena, so it'll be a lot harder for the Rock to come back and have like a proper match. Because like
But he's filming
32,
Black Adam.
when he obviously returned, technically he had a match, but it was like 6 seconds long, and all he did was rock bottom Eric Rowan. He wasn't actually cleared to wrestle that night. Like, he was under contract with another movie, so he actually got in trouble for it. Obviously, he didn't injure anything because all he did was a rock bottom, but he wasn't actually cleared to wrestle. But they they gave him a match anyway. So I think
Everyone doesn't care.
no, I don't think he cares. I think the studio that were trying to make sure he didn't get injured probably did care though,
What?
even if the
What?
match
What?
only was six
Oh,
seconds long.
It's The Rock. What are you gonna do? Oh, sorry, we're not having you in the film. Oh, who else are you gonna
Yeah,
have? Jason Statham. Oh,
yes,
fuck off.
get sliced alone. You know,
It's just no. You need The Rock. You can't be mad at The Rock.
well, you can be mad at The Rock. It's
Yeah,
just,
they're
what
not
are you
gonna
going to do
smack him
about it?
over.
He'll probably just fucking crush you. He's the
The
size of a
Rock, big
car.
movie star.
Bro, The Rock is the size of a
He's.
car. Like, what are you going to do to him, really?
I bet it's Fast and Furious, wasn't it?
2016, it probably was.
I
Unless it was
bet it's
like,
Fast.
was San Andreas before then?
It's Moana. Love it.
Yeah, to strain his throat. But yes, so we'll move on grave
I was gonna
and
say, like, isn't he dead?
fucking, yeah, bring the Undertaker back for a one-off match with, I don't know, fucking Humberto Carrillo.
I mean, let's face it, Bam Bam Bigelow, like returning back to life and having a match is more likely than them getting CM Punk back.
That is true. That
It,
is very painfully true. So,
it's just,
so we'll move on to our second topic, which is, well, for once I can't actually think of a good transition between topics.
oh yeah, this one
Um,
you can't. Okay,
yeah, it's harder to do
because
a
every other
transition for this. Yeah.
transition you've done has been perfect. All
Yeah,
right, okay.
well, okay. Well, what do you, okay?
In
Ricochet.
the comments, in the comments.
Ricochet is a big smelly weeb. Talking of weebs, here's our next topic. There you go. Our topic is, what are our opinions on weeb or weeaboo or otakus or whatever you want to call them? What do you think about them, Joe?
Can't stand them.
Good.
It, it it's it's such a weird thing, but I've been in the boat of people have judged me for something that I like. So I can't sit there and say, like, you can't like this thing just because you're weird about it, because it's
Yeah.
not fair.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when someone is a weeaboo, I'm just like, that's good,
Yeah,
but
I'm
don't
I'm just like, yeah,
fucking
stay away from me. I don't care, but stay away.
like. It's great. I'm glad you're passionate about this thing, but
I'm really glad
don't
you enjoy
don't shove
Boko
it
no
down my throat.
Pico.
Like, put the candy in my van, but don't shove it down my throat. You know what I mean? Like,
Right. Okay.
that's what I mean. Like, I'm happy to get it, but I don't want it down my throat.
Yeah. Exactly. You can
Uh,
talk to, you can tell me about all these other anime and fucking manga and hentai that you watch. I don't care. But if you try and make me watch them, I will knock your fucking teeth in because I don't want to.
exactly.
So obviously we know some weebs, unfortunately. Joe probably knows a lot more than me, considering you do probably the weebiest course you could do at college.
Hey, they're listening. They're listening.
And think I give a fuck?
Oh, I hope they are. Hello, if you're listening, you know who you are.
Hello, you
Um,
industrious little fellows. Um,
but they actually enjoy this podcast at my college.
the fucking
So,
weebs. Yeah, so obviously you know more weebs than I do, so you probably interact with them on a more regular basis than me. Um,
yeah,
but whenever I have, half the time they're just trying to get you to watch or read or, I don't know, play something. Like they, you'd just be having like a normal conversation. You'll mention something that's like vaguely related to whatever, and they'll be like, "Oh, have you played Persona 5? Oh, you know, have you watched Sword Art Online yet?" Yeah, I'm like, "No, fuck
I'm
off.
feeling very that's
I
it.
don't want to read your fucking shitty Sword Art Online manga. It's crap. I tried once, and it was awful, awful, awful
I
show."
it is the thing, right? So I once um like I remember Corey. I said a name there, but
In the
hello
house,
Corey. He would love it. He would love to be
in the
mentioned.
house,
Hello Corey.
in the house.
And I remember him and one of our other friends who I won't mention because I'm aware of it now. But yeah, they were talking about Sword Art Online once. And I was scrolling through
Ooh.
Netflix and I saw it. I was just like, oh, I'll give it a watch. It's like
Yeah,
middle
you
of the
you heard him,
night.
you heard him talk about it, so you thought, you know what, I'll give it a try. And then you regretted it.
And yeah, so then I binge watched the first 8 episodes and I was just like,
Ooh.
I really like this. But the funny thing is, I never watched it again after them 8 episodes. I said I loved it. I loved all the characters. I never watched it again. I was even
Wow.
going to buy Funko Pop, but I
Oh
didn't.
my god.
Luckily, I didn't.
You're fucking one of them.
I'm not one
Jesus.
of them. I'm not one of them. I didn't watch it again. I couldn't stand. Well, I just couldn't bear watching it again.
Yeah.
To be fair, that
But
was like
what
me with the
was?
Black Mirror.
Yeah.
Oh, Black Mirror. I watched a few episodes, never watched it again.
Yeah.
Like
Well, it's like
unless it's like a Marvel thing, I can't watch it.
that
That's
is
that's that's
shockingly
true.
true. Yeah. I think the closest I probably got to being a weeb was when I was 15, 16, and I first got into JoJo's. And I remember I was just like, when you think of like JoJo's fans and they're horrible and toxic and they don't stop fucking quoting the show. That's what I was for like a good couple of months. And looking back on it, I realize how fucking cringe it was. Because it's like, bro, nobody has watched this here. So nobody's gonna get your shitty reference to, uh, I don't know, Jotaro punching Dio and making a funny noise. Like, it's, you know, it's stupid.
I actually think you told me to watch JoJo,
I probably did back in the day. I
and
remember
I
I got,
watched it, and I was just like, this is fucking shit,
mm,
and I never watched it again.
well, like I managed to get my brother to watch all. Well, like my brother's probably watched more JoJo's than I have, because like he watched part 5, which well, he watched the start of it anyway, which I haven't, and I don't want to. Um, but like in terms of like anime that like I watch now, I don't really watch any. Like probably I say that I do sort of keep up with My Hero Academia every once in a while. So like what I'll do is once a month or so I'll watch like 1 or 2 episodes.
That's
Um
what I might start doing.
yeah. But like I only really watch that because a friend of mine got me into the show. I won't say their name. And My Hero Academia, I don't really care for a lot of like the external kind of stuff. So like I don't care about reading the manga. I don't really care about like buying the games and stuff. It's just sort of like I'll watch a couple episodes on Crunchyroll and then I'll come back in 2, 3 weeks and then watch a couple more. Like the last anime I probably sat down and watched the whole thing of was
Sword Art Online.
oh god no. I haven't watched the full thing of that. I watched like the first couple of episodes and I just couldn't bother. I fucking hate it. But like certain people you get, they just shove it down your throat
Hmm.
like all the time. Like and like this isn't just for like anime and manga and stuff. This is for like a lot of like Japanese stuff. Like, I would say the only thing you could really pull me up on for being a weeb about these days is Yakuza, which is obviously very Japanese kind of a product. It's very, it's focused on the Japanese crime syndicates of the Yakuza, so of course it's going to be very Japanese based. Um, but like that's it for me these days. Like, you can't call me up really on being like an anime and manga kind of a guy because the only anime I've watched like the whole thing of are Dragon Ball, Naruto. I'm pretty much up to date on My Hero Academia, and I watched like parts 1, 2, 3, and 4 of JoJo's, and that's it really. I like One Punch Man as well. I watched season 1 of One Punch Man on Netflix. Like that's it. You know, I think that's a healthy amount really. Um,
Oh, yeah, man.
it's
But you
literally just
kind of
like it's just pretty much just like the most basic ones you could really think of. Like I don't care for the kind of animes that are like romance kind of saga kind of ones. Like I keep getting one advertised on Crunchyroll. I can't remember what it is, but the only advert they show of it is literally it's just in the advert the protagonist just smooching, and they're like exclusively on Crunchyroll. I don't know what it's called. We'll call it like two people smooching.
kissing brother.
Yeah, two gay dudes smacking lips. Like,
Two gay black dudes kiss.
yes, two gay black dudes kissing. But yeah,
That's the point behind the meme. He just hated the anime.
I like weebs.
Stop
They
it!
just annoy me.
Turning me on. But yeah, I don't get how some people could be like they like
I don't get the
every
people that are
anime
like
they watch. They like.
yeah, yeah. Well, it's
It's
like
like there's got to be one that's shit. I mean,
like if you really think about it, anime is just like an alternate style of cartoons. Like for me, I don't really separate anime that far. Or at least the ones I watch, I don't really separate them that far from like action animated TV shows. Like I wouldn't say there's a huge amount of difference in like the Justice League animated show from the mid 2000s and like Naruto or Dragon Ball really, because if you boil it down, it's just
a different art.
it's just groups of people fighting. Like the only real difference is like the animation quality and art style.
Yeah,
That's really it. If you boil it down to like its basic features. Um so like for me, I don't really separate kind of the ones I watch from American cartoons because they're very similar. But like when you get into the stuff like that the gay black dudes kissing one, obviously that's not what it actually is, but you get into stuff like that, and I'm sure there's other examples that I just can't think of right now. Like Sailor Moon, maybe. Um, like stuff like that. That's a lot more weeby kind of anime. Like you've got like base level, then you've got like a little further in where you get more obscure but still sort of well known, like the early 2000s kind of ones you would get on. Like here, you'd get them on Kicks and Jetix. That's a fucking throwback. In America, you get them on like Toonami and stuff. Um, and then you go another level up, and then you get the shit that you're never ever gonna see an English dub for because it's weird as fuck. Like you get like the fucking
that's like your tentacle
you
hentai.
get like Haikyuu, I think it's called, which I've seen advertised a couple of times and I've never wanted to watch. Like there's one called like That Time I
It's not
Got
the. I think
Reincarnated
I've
as a
seen that.
Slime.
Is high Q?
Haikyuu.
High Q?
I've heard of
Is that like
Haikyuu.
the volleyball one?
It might
I've
be.
heard of that one.
Kuroko no Basket. That's literally just like they play basketball. Like I distinguish. Oh, when I said I watched anime, I actually completely forgot about like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh as well,
Yeah,
because like I consider them like really base level. Like that's like Saturday morning cartoon kind of stuff in
it's
my
the
eyes,
same
personally.
like Avatar. That's sort of like anime.
Yeah, well, Avatar it's a little different because like Avatar was American made, but it's in the style of anime as well.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like, yeah, I get what you mean. Like stuff like that, I didn't even consider them because I when I think of anime, I don't think of those particularly because they're so base level. So like if you like the Pokemon anime and you like the Yu-Gi-Oh anime and you like Dragon Ball, I wouldn't call you a weeb. Like
No, no.
fucking Dragon Ball is by a large distance the most successful anime franchise other than Pokemon of all time. So like you're not a weeb for liking an incredibly popular show all around the world.
I'll tell you what I saw yesterday, right? Um,
Mate,
I was in
you left
Forbidden
your house.
Planet.
Oh my god, you left your house. Can't
I
believe it.
did, and
Did you wear a mask?
I saw, I did wear a mask with a
Good on
smile.
you. Good on you. Good on you.
Um,
Oh, fuck off.
and I saw the Super Mario manga.
Super Mario in real life.
I genuinely saw it's called like Manga Mania or something, and it's like a Mario manga,
Right. Yeah.
and I just fucking laughed.
Yeah. Well, you
Oh,
say that. There's like
ah,
Pokemon. There's like
Mario
Pokemon
manga.
manga and stuff, and
Yeah, yeah,
obviously,
there's Pokemon
like
manga,
Yu-Gi-Oh obviously originated from a manga.
manga.
Dragon Ball obviously was a manga first as well. Like to be honest, Dragon Ball is actually I was about to say Dragon Ball is the only manga. I do technically own a 3-in-1 book thing for the first 3 volumes of Naruto, which I bought from W.H. Smith's for a tenner. So that
Ooh,
and Dragon Ball are the only mangas I've actually read. Because they're literally, right, manga is just backwards comics. Like,
yeah.
if you read comics, you it's just American manga. And if you read manga, it's Japanese comics. It's as simple as that.
But I don't see why people find such a weird thing with manga.
Yeah.
Like it's literally just.
A lot of people seem to be against manga, don't they? They
I
find
think
like
a lot of
problems with
people
it.
associate it with like
Oh, they
hentai.
especially, yeah, I was gonna say, yeah. When in actuality, unless you go to like certain places, which I wouldn't know where to find them personally. I'm sure some of your friends will.
I thought, okay.
I'm sure some of your friends will know where to find them, but
The good thing is next week we can say whatever we want. They won't be watching. Just
exactly, yeah,
lagging them off.
yeah,
I'll apologise for it.
yeah, all right. But yeah, like a lot of the bad press that comes from manga is probably just because of like hentai and stuff. Because like I remember the only time I've looked at hentai was when I was looking at it to laugh at it, because a lot of hentai is really
Sure,
bad.
mate. Sure.
No, genuinely, right? Me and a couple. Mate, I don't beat my meat to animated fucking people. I don't beat my meat to like drawings, bro. That.
No.
Right,
I'm just
I have a PSA, right? If you beat your meat to hentai, you're a fucking weirdo. Like I'm putting this out here right now. If you beat your meat to line drawings of tits, you are a weirdo. Like, bro,
oh,
that is
dear.
weird.
Sorry, I saw the opportunity to go around with it. Uh,
So weird.
I
Yeah,
mean,
like
it is pretty.
the only time like I've ever seen it was like I remember some fucking US newscaster got caught with a tab of it open on his PC. Um, and I looked it up, and it's fucking dreadful. Like it's like the quality of it is
Wait,
literally
was
like
there
the
tentacles in it?
guy. No, there weren't tentacles. It was literally just like what was it? It was some bloke comes home and a woman has started living in his house without him knowing, and then he just sort of accepts it, and then she starts making food for him, and then he's like, okay, and then she just gets her tits out. Like, that's it.
Yeah, I think
Like,
I've seen this one.
yeah, you would. It's like
Uh,
genuinely, I could write a better plot than that. Well, it wouldn't be hard, to be fair.
just like cooking like scrambled eggs, she's just like knock us out.
Well, to be fair, I think that's probably what it was.
Well,
But but yeah,
it,
weebs don't like 'em. And if you try and make me play Persona 5 Strikers, I will 2-foot your dad.
I've not even played that shit.
Yeah, well, it's just Persona 5, but if it was like a fucking Warriors game, isn't it?
The thing I like about the Hyrule Warriors game is they have a lot of characters that I like. Persona 5 doesn't have a lot of characters.
It's got like
So,
7, 8, maybe.
exactly. If it was like Persona in general, and it was all the different protagonists, I've not played the other Personas, but at least I know of them.
Hmm. I've played the only Persona game I've actually beaten was Persona 4, which no, Persona 4 Golden, sorry, which is like it's like the Persona 5 Royal to Persona 4. And I actually played that before like all the attention for Persona 5. Well, it might have been before all the attention for Persona 5. I'm not really sure when it all really started, but it was quite a while ago, and it was like it wasn't because it was like, you know, oh, Persona, oh, Japanese RPG, oh. It was literally just because like I liked the music, and at the time I actually enjoyed RPGs, so I just played it, and it was alright. Can't really complain about it.
I,
I,
I
I prefer
in
Persona
the
4
past year,
Golden to I was about to say Yakuza. I don't prefer it to Yakuza. I prefer it to Persona 5.
in the
Uh,
past year, I've definitely gotten into video game music a lot more. So I might have to start playing Persona 4 if it's got good music.
it does have decent music. It's
But I've
decent.
always been interested in video game music, but my
Well,
interest was like, oh, the Banjo Kazooie soundtrack.
well,
But now I'm
if you want
interested.
a game with a good soundtrack, Joe, I would recommend Yakuza 0 because that's got a cracking soundtrack.
Right, I'm thinking about it. All right, God.
Yeah, just fucking buy it, mate.
It
Fucking
it's a se-
banging
it's a
game.
series that I don't. Well, I want to get into it, but I also like
Well, play
I
0 then.
don't.
Well, you could just play 0 and then not play the rest of the games because 0
Is that
stands
is that
perfectly
like
fine on
a
its own. It's a
yeah?
prequel.
Is that like a standalone? Okay.
Zero is the prequel. So like if you haven't played the other games, you'll probably miss a few things. But I played 0 first as well, and it didn't mess with my understanding of it at all. Actually, playing 0 first and then playing like the rest of them in order actually helped because like I would think back, I'd be like, oh, so that's what that was in 0, and so on and so forth. And
Oh,
like,
okay.
yeah, it's stuff like that. Like 0 is, I would say, for my money, the best place to start, unless you want to shell out like 60 quid to play Like a Dragon, which I wouldn't do personally.
Well, I saw it, the PS5 version. I saw it in game for like 40 quid. I was like, "Ooh."
40. Well, I got it for free, mate. Xbox Game Pass for the win.
I know. I want to get back into my Xbox a bit more. I like the Game Pass. I just didn't like
Game Pass is cracking. We like the Game Pass.
the thing with the Game Pass for me is I didn't get. I didn't get the Game Pass Ultimate where you get gold and the Game Pass. I got them separately
Ah,
because
because you're
Game
an
Pass Ultimate
idiot.
released. Well, it's like a staggered thing for me, right?
Hmm.
So I either had to wait for them both to go, or I could just keep paying them separately. And it was like
Well,
3 months without
you can just
one or the
upgrade.
other.
Well, no. Well, how it works is you upgrade one of them, and because Xbox are actually smart about this, because they realize people have this problem, is they just give you those extra months that you've got on both of them for free. Because that's what they did with my Game Pass Ultimate. Because they gave me, because I had like another 6 months of my gold subscription. I upgraded it to Game Pass Ultimate, and I got 6 months for £1 because I had 6 months left. Like it was, Xbox are actually very good at that kind of thing. Honestly,
I didn't know that was a
I've probably said it so many times on this podcast, but Xbox Game Pass Ultimate is the best value subscription fee for any video game and console. Like it's so good. There's so many fucking games on it. Not you know,
not even just for video games. It's like probably the best like value for money in any like subscription.
yeah. Like
I'm
I'd
talking
say
like
it's
comic
better
book
value for money.
movies,
Better value for money than Netflix. It's like you get
vegan cookware, everything.
yeah. Like the only thing like afterwards is obviously it's like £11 a month after the fact. But even still, what you're getting is you're getting gold, which would normally be what? How much is
Anyway,
gold? Yeah. And then you're also getting the Game Pass, obviously. But then you also get it on Windows 10 as well, if you use Windows 10 for that kind of thing. So you're getting it on PC and on your Xbox, and you're getting gold, all for £11.
and
It's
your phone now.
yes, yeah, because you can stream them through your phone now, can't you? Yeah. So you're getting genuinely the best deal imaginable. Xbox have pulled an absolute blinder there, and Xbox just release all of their new games straight onto Game Pass as well. So if you've got Game Pass, you don't need to pay for these games because they're going to come out on Game Pass. Like Forza Horizon 5 is going to come out on Game Pass. Like
Like these are 70 quid games now. Like it's
it genuinely
great way.
it's ridiculous how much value you get for your money. I cannot
And
sing
then
the
the
praise
notifications.
as much as I have complaints about like the actual like Xbox UI and stuff, and like I'm not a huge fan of it. They've absolutely smashed it out of the park with the Game Pass.
Absolutely.
Mm. To be fair, that was one of the contributing factors to why I bought a Series X over a PS5. It's just because I had so many more games through Game Pass on my Xbox than I had on my PlayStation.
I
And
mean, if
also,
Pass was around when I was a kid, I would have loved.
oh yeah,
So
Game Pass.
I didn't get many games as a kid. I probably got like
No, I didn't
two
either.
games every like birthday or Christmas or
Yeah,
whatever.
well, yeah, like what I'd probably get is I'd probably get like one game for my birthday, one game for Christmas, and then I'd probably buy maybe one, maybe two with my Christmas or birthday money. And then just that's me sorted. Like that's me
And
sorted for
that's
a
even
year,
if I
innit?
wanted like a
Yeah,
game. Most of the time, I
yeah,
would just
yeah.
like boys with it.
Like
But half my gaming life has just been Skylanders. That's been like 6 years.
honestly,
That's the only
that's what it
game
was for
I've
me.
played.
I remember one Christmas, we got it was when the first Skylanders game came out. We had like our grandfather bought like a massive box of pretty much all the figures. So they did like I think we got every single figure for the original series, but the ones that were in like the level packs. So we got pretty much every
Oh,
single figure but two or four or however many there were. Like it was
cool.
ridiculous. It cost him like
That-
250 quid or something. It was ridiculous. I don't know why he paid so much.
No, that's good value there. Like 10 quid per Skylander. That's what, 40 of them?
Yeah, yeah. You just
The ones that I got was the level packs at first, but I only got two of them.
mm. I don't think I ever
Uh,
actually got one of the
and
level
then the
packs. I
physical
remember
collected.
as soon as me or my brother would get money, we'd this is a very British thing to do. This is, but we'd go straight to the Argos catalogue and we'd see which ones they had in
Oh,
the Argos catalogue, and we'd go to our mum and be like, "Can you order this for us from Argos?" And then we'd pop down at like on like 2 p.m. on a Saturday and we'd pick up our
I'll
Skylanders
just
figure.
shit the Skylanders. Have I told the story on the podcast? I
I
remember
don't
telling
believe
it.
so.
I remember telling it like I think it was like on stream or something. But
Might.
it's the story of my mother and my stepdad. They work at well, they work at Argo, and they're quite high ranking. Um, and when I was a kid, I
Captain of
would want
Argos.
something in the catalog, and the Skylander collection was always shit. This revolves around Skylanders,
It was a bit
and
naff, I'll be honest, yeah.
what they would say was we'll go talk to Mr. Argos.
Mr.
and
Argos.
Mr. Argo. And and for ages I thought like Mr. Argo was a thing, and like my mum could just go to him and say, "Oi, me lad wants some Skylanders," and I like,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's just crazy. So
Well,
how I
you
fucking
know, well,
believe that.
yeah. Well, like as a kid, you believe those kind of things, though, don't you?
Exactly. I still believe that Father Christmas was real. Oh shit! Do you reckon kids listen to it?
Nah.
Sorry if you just find. Oh God, we've ruined some lives here.
Good. Well,
Was
as we
this
were,
stuff?
we were talking about the value of what you're paying for, with the Game Pass, for example. We're going to move on to something that I feel you're never going to get your value for what you're paying for, which is what is going on with selling physical copies of video games right now. And what I mean by this is an idiot, has paid about £1.5 million for a sealed, mint condition boxed copy of the original print of Mario 64. £1.5 million for a sealed copy of a game that you could get on the Wii U eShop for a tenner.
I don't think he wanted to play the game. I
No, well,
think he
no,
was
no, I
probably.
understand that, Joe. I understand that.
Sorry. I'm just it's just snarky Joe coming out. Sorry, but the thing I saw that article, couldn't be asked to read it. Just because I thought he was an idiot.
He
I
is.
don't see the point of collecting games nowadays.
I, I do. However, paying that much is incredibly stupid. Because if you are going to collect video games, Super Mario 64 is not a hard game to get your hands on. Because it is the best selling N64 game of all time. And the
Mm.
N64 didn't exactly flop in the market, it was fairly successful. So it's not going to be hard to get your hands on a copy.
It's just
Why
like all
would
these
you why would
shovelware
you
games,
Yeah, well, yeah. But why would you be willing
like
to spend 1.5 million pounds for a boxed copy? When? And this is real, by the way. Uh, you're aware of the Nintendo World Championships cartridges, aren't you, Joe? For the
yeah,
NES.
there
Yeah,
you go.
right.
Well,
You know how they're ridiculously rare. Okay.
yeah,
Um, a copy of the World Championships, I think it was 1990. Um, a copy, obviously, it's not in the box because there wasn't a box, but a copy of that sold within the last month or so. That sold for 10k. Now
like
that is an actual genuine collectible, and I can understand paying that kind of a price, right? Because that is actually rare.
I would understand that one.
10k, I think, for how rare that console that cartridge is, fair enough, I suppose. I mean, I wouldn't pay for it. There is a ROM online you could just use
I
if
wouldn't.
if you really want to play it. Just get the ROM. But yeah, it really puts into perspective how stupid that sale was, because the World Championships, there were only about 50 cartridges made. Am I right? Something along that kind of line.
But it seems likely.
Super Mario
I'm not too sure.
64 probably had about, how
Super
many
Mario Bros.
N64s were sold? About 20, 25 million N64s, probably more. So if we say there are about, yeah, you know what? No, we'll say about 30 million copies of Mario 64 floating around. You have to think there's going to be more than one of these mint condition boxed 64 copies, right? Probably more than 50. Because 30 million, roughly. Actually, you know what? I'll get the actual units sold.
Get the statistic.
Right. Super Mario 64 units sold. 12 million. Okay, so it's not actually as much as I thought. Yeah. Yeah, here you go. So the actual retail price, I was actually wrong. I said it was 1.5 million pounds. It was 1.56 million dollars. Sorry, which would be
About
less,
1 point.
obviously. Probably about 1.3
It'll
million
be
pounds.
around 1 point.
Still a ridiculous amount of money. Still, you know, it doesn't change the point of the argument, right? 12 million units sold of Super Mario 64. You have to think 12 million, there is a good chance that more than 1,000, maybe even more than that, maybe 2,000. About 2,000 of these probably are still sealed mint in box. So
Yeah, exactly.
why on God's green earth would you pay $1.56 million for a cartridge that, in all likelihood, isn't very unique when when the Nintendo World Championships, uh, let's see how many copies of that were made. Nintendo World Championships cartridge. Here you go. There are about 353 of the grey cartridges on the market, or at least that we know of that are floating around. So 353 of them, and that is obviously there could be more, there could be less. The highest one numbered is 353. You have to think, why is that not selling for more? Because that is categorically more valuable due to its scarcity, right?
Yeah, I reckon the guy who brought the Mario he probably knew like a bit about gaming. He probably knew its value, but he probably like exaggerated how
Yeah, well,
much.
well, obviously this isn't the first time this kind of a thing has happened. You know, we look at obviously there was a big boom in Pokemon card sales in the last 6 to 12 months because of Logan Paul. Logan Paul massively overvalued all of his cards that he had and bought. He overpaid for pretty much everything. He overvalued everything, and it caused the market to spike. When in actuality, none of it was actually worth what he was paying for. And I think it's a very similar case here. But I think what this is causing is this is going to cause the video game cartridge sales market to shoot up for a short time until everyone realizes how stupid this is, and then it will come crashing down.
I've got
Because,
a copy of the B movie on the if anyone wants
yeah, well, like,
to hit me
think
up.
about, well, hang on, think about this, right? Say 10, how old is Super Mario 64? It's 25 years old, okay?
Yeah.
Say in 15 years, I try to sell my copy of Super Mario Galaxy 2 in box. I'm not getting 1.56 million for that.
No, you won't. No
Chances
chance.
are I'd probably get about, at most, 300 at a push. So why is this? I've used the same time frame here. Why on earth is this so much? And the only answer I can give is because the guy who bought it is actually stupid and doesn't know what he's doing. Because there is
It's
no reason
it's
for it to
funny
go up
'cause
that high. There's no reason
it's
to
at
go
a
up for it.
point in the in the games industry where they were trying to sell more physical copies. Because obviously
Yeah.
at the time you
Well,
could rent video
at the
games,
time, yeah. The
so
reason,
they
well,
were
yeah,
trying to push more physical
I'm
copies.
sure, yeah, they were trying to push these physical copies back in the day because renting was so popular. Now, video game companies are moving away from physical cartridges because doing everything digitally is, it's perfect for them because it means they can control everything about the game, doesn't it? Whereas a physical
Yeah,
copy, you play it offline, they can't control you, can they? So it's, obviously. Oh bloody hell! Sorry, I just noticed I'm sweating. Um,
oh, I've been
yeah,
sweating this
yeah.
entire
If
time. It's very hot. Stay safe,
yeah,
everyone.
if you guys didn't know, of course we live in the UK. It's ridiculously warm. I
Hey, it's
am
hot everywhere.
like
Like we've got it lucky.
I'm sitting here in literally just my pants and my shorts, and I'm literally there is sweat dripping off of my legs, like it's ridiculous. And I've had a cold shower as well because I went to the gym before we recorded this, so I was cold, and now I'm not. It's ridiculous.
It's fucking hot.
It is. It's,
I can't bear it.
it's a bit warm, but to be fair, for any Americans that are watching, and I'm assuming there aren't any, but if they do, and you're probably going, oh, you know, 30 degrees, 30 Celsius, what's that? That's like 90 Fahrenheit. That's nothing to me, bruh. I live in Utah, bruh. It's so warm in Utah. Well, the thing is, Mr. American man, our houses are built like fucking ovens. Our
We don't
houses are
have
built
aircon.
to our houses are built to keep the heat in, not let the heat go. Because
Yeah.
unlike in Utah, it gets very cold here, and our houses are built to withstand that cold because it never used to get very warm here. So the reason we all complain about it being so warm is because our houses are made like Dutch ovens. They keep all the bloody heat in. So it's actually colder to go and sit outside in the shade than it is to actually stay in your house. Which is ridiculous.
You just got in an imaginary fight with a guy
With it,
from Utah.
yeah, I'll spark him out. I
Uh,
mean, come from ends, bro. I'll leng him. Those are roadman words. Um, but yeah, I think I've really said all I want to about the video games sales problem. I
yeah.
suppose it. There's not really like a lot we could really say other than it's bad and they shouldn't be selling them for this much. But I mean, if people are willing to pay for them, then what's going to stop them? I suppose because I
Like,
can't be bothered to stop them.
the brain probably. But,
Well, common sense hopefully would stop them, but as we have seen, it doesn't seem likely.
this ain't even common sense at this point. It's just
It's just
I don't even know.
it's just people with too much money. It's like
Exactly.
I feel like this guy. I'm sure this guy is probably like a
Well,
multi-millionaire, right?
right. To be fair, I think a copy of Mario 64 that's sold for 1 million is more rare than a copy of Super Mario 64 because it's like got history behind it now.
Yeah, but how would you know it's that very specific copy? Because you'd have to
I
mark
get
it, and then
unless you got like a
if you marked the copy, it's not mint
left.
condition. It's not mint condition anymore.
Yeah, you can't even brag.
Yeah, exactly. But
And
yeah,
everyone you know will call you an idiot. It's
yeah,
£1 million.
exactly. But to be
Well,
fair,
a
if
million
this
from
guy,
our
I'm assuming this guy's a multi-millionaire. If he's like a really, really rich multi-millionaire, like nine figures kind of a multi-millionaire, he's probably got more money than he actually knows what to do with. So
yeah.
I'm
Let him
sure
waste it.
yeah, I'm sure he doesn't actually care. He could just spunk all his money up the wall on one copy of Super Mario 64 he's never going to open. He can put it in his living room. People ask, "Oh, why have you got a boxed copy of Mario 64 sitting on your coffee
Oh,
table.
I
He
love this
goes,
game as a kid. Yeah, I
yeah,
brought my six.
yeah,
I brought
and he
my.
goes,
Oh, let's
and
play it.
yeah,
No.
they go to like touch it, and he just fucking smacks their hand away. He's like, "Oi, calm down." That was 1.56 million quid. That was well, dollars. And they go, "Fucking hell, what the fuck are
You're
you doing,
retarded. I'm leaving.
you gangly great."
I bet Richard Hammond wrote it.
I'd hope not. Should be spending his money on cars, not games. He's not a gamer. He's a car.
The amount he fucking trashes his car.
Or maybe his favourite game is Crash Bandicoot.
Way. It's a burnout.
Aha, banter. Yeah, Burnout Paradise is a favourite. Yeah, yeah. Need for
It's
Speed.
just like Demolition Derby 2K2. I don't know.
Well,
Who
it's
cares?
just it would just be Demolition Derby because that's what the name of the game is.
I don't even know if there is a Demolition
Demolition
Derby. To be honest.
Demolition D's nuts.
Oh,
Um,
oh!
got him. But yeah, I think we've said all we need to say really, and we'll move on to our fourth segment, the midpoint of the show,
Oh,
which you
God.
know what that means. It's Return of the Flop. Here it
I think it's
is,
good.
Return of the Flop.
Return of the
Come
Flop.
on. Yeah, it's like, like the song Return of the Mac. You know, they they use it to advertise McDonald's bringing back the Big Tasty. I love a Big Tasty, by the way. Americans don't get the Big Tasty apparently, which is ridiculous
Because they get
considering
the
the
McRib
Big
though, we
Taste.
don't.
That is true. I've had a McRib once, and it was all right. A bit overhyped, but it was all right.
It's
But yeah,
alright.
I'm surprised they don't get the Big Tasty because if you look at, have you had a Big Tasty before? Have you at least seen a Big
Don't
Tasty?
don't get me started. I've seen one. Don't get me
Yeah,
started on all this because I
they
got bullied
are
by our
bloody,
friend Nathan for it.
they're bloody
I'm a
massive.
very
Big
fussy eater.
Tasties are. Big Tasties are bloody massive. They're big, fat, and quite flat burgers.
Would you say they are big?
Just absolutely, yeah. And they're quite tasty. Um, they're just like these big fat
They're just
fucking
horrible. It's like,
burgers,
oh,
just full of all sorts of like burger stuff, I suppose. Like there's like mayo and I don't know. Well, I don't know if there is mayo, but like like tomatoes and lettuce and gherkins and cheese, and you can get one with bacon. Oh, it's like the most American burger they do, and they don't do it in America. It's ridiculous. But
I've always been a fussy eater.
honestly, I could go on about like international McDonald's. I've been to McDonald's all over the gaff. I went to one. I've been to quite a few in Berlin, because
Oh, in
I'm
Italy, do like spaghetti.
they they don't do spaghetti in the
Yay!
one in Italy. No. In China they do noodles though, which is interesting. In India they don't do any beef product. It's all like chicken and potato based. Well, they do some pork as well, but only for like adding bacon to stuff. What else? Arabic countries they don't do any pork, obviously, because it's haram. Um, Germany. Tell you what they do in Germany, and I know this firsthand. They do the bloody like
Sausage.
hash fries, like you know what I'm talking about. It's like a grate, like a grill, kind of a shape
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, they do them. I had some, and they were bloody lovely. They season them like you get like curly fries in the UK. Obviously, they don't sell them at McDonald's, but they season them like they do curly fries, and they sell them in like a. They only sell them in normal and large. You can't get a small one, and they are, to quote the Blue Van Man, they are bloody lovely. I had one while I was in Berlin. Like they do all sorts in Berlin. They even sell beer at some of their McDonald's. So there you go.
Oh, you would have thought.
I didn't get one while I was there. A, because I wasn't 18, and B, because I was on a school trip. So I couldn't have if I wanted to.
Well,
Well, I could, if I'd have hidden it, then maybe. But yeah. So back to what we were. I just completely gone off the rails on McDonald's, trying to
That was
distract me
a huge
from
side note.
making you do top or flop round quattro.
No, you distracted. It wasn't me. You did
Yeah, it
all
was.
that by yourself. I
No,
didn't
no, no,
get a
no, no,
word
no,
in. I
no,
didn't
no,
get
no, no,
a
no, no,
fucking word
no,
in.
no, no, no,
You liar.
no, no, no,
You liar.
no, 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 fraudulent. So yeah, top or flop round numero 4, or quattro if you want to get Spanish about this. Yeah, we'll kick it off. Hopefully, Joe can get more than what's your high score? 13. Great job, he's 13. 13 is your high score. Let's see if we can beat it today. Something tells me you probably won't. So your first song title is One More Time.
I'm gonna say, yeah, it did reach number one.
Who sung it?
Don't know who. Don't know who sung it.
Wow.
Or should we say perform? Um, and I'm gonna. Ah, I guess we'll say I don't know Neo and fuck it, why not? 2009.
You will receive nil point.
Oh,
That was One More Time by Daft Punk, released in the year
oh,
2000, and it only peaked at second, surprisingly. One more time, we're gonna celebrate.
can I
Yeah.
say I only know that song from the movie Trolls World Tour.
Oh my god.
At least I knew
Oh.
the song.
Yeah, yeah. Well, if you knew the song, you would have got some
Could be
points,
some
wouldn't
fun.
you? Yeah.
It makes
Um.
sense though.
So your
By the way, I
next.
don't watch Trolls, but my younger sister does.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Just
All
saying.
right. All right. All right, Joe. Yeah.
It's
Okay.
got James Corden in it. You know how we
No.
feel about James
Oof.
Corden.
Oy, oy. Yeah. So your song, the second. Your song title is One Day Like This.
Eh?
One Day Like This.
Uh,
If I sing it to you, you might recognise it. But I won't sing it to you yet.
wow, we're gonna go with no 4 again, aren't we? No 4. I'm gonna say it did reach number one. So that's like a 50-50 um sort of deal. Um, it sounds like a Mariah Carey song or something. I'm guessing by your laugh that that's wrong. So I'm gonna say, what's it called? Sorry,
One Day Like This.
I don't know, Calvin Harris. And it was released, I don't know, 2013. No
Hmm.
four, I'm guessing.
Nil point. That was One Day Like This by Elbow, released in 2006.
Elbow,
Peaked at number 4. See,
elbow.
yeah, throw those
Oh,
curtains wide. One day like this a year will see me right. It was all over the shop back in like the early 2000s. You couldn't get away from it. They used it in like Children in Need. They used it in. I know Peter Kay did a cover of it. Like, it was all over the place.
you
That
can't
song.
say a song's recognisable. Say, oh, Peter Kay did it.
Well, if Peter Kay's
Oh.
done it, then I would assume the British population as a whole
Peter
would know
Kay
that
isn't like
song.
a music mogul. He's not like Simon Cowell.
Well, everyone knows Road to Amarillo, don't they?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
but
Well, there you
Peter Kay
go.
didn't
There's
sing
there's your
it.
proof.
He did
There's
the
your proof.
music
There's your
video.
proof. There's your proof.
Jimmy
Everyone
Savile was in
knows
that. You saying
Road.
everyone loves Jimmy Savile?
Well, he didn't sing it though. He's in the video, but he didn't sing it. Peter Kay did sing it.
No, Peter Kay didn't sing it.
He did. He
No, he
sang. He,
didn't.
he sang it with the original singer. He's literally featured as a feature on the song. Like, he's listed as a feature on the song because he sang it as well. Because that's not the original song. That is a cover of with Peter Kay and the original singer.
Well,
Because
always
the
says
original song
something.
Road to Amarillo came out in like 2000 not 2000, sorry, it came out like the 1980s.
Oh,
Yeah, don't try and chat to me about Peter
sorry,
Kay.
Peter Kay fanboy.
Yeah,
Fanboy, not fanboy.
I am Peter Kay.
And you are a fanboy.
Garlic bread is what he says. Well, that is what he says, isn't it?
That reminds me of the. Have you ever seen the Britain's Got Talent contestant?
Well,
And she's just like the one time I met Peter Kay.
garlic
Garlic
bread.
bread.
Oh,
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 just making me think of the fucking Max and Paddy show now. Bloody love,
garlic
bloody love the
bread.
Max and Paddy show. What a show. Anyway, your song numero tres, your title is 1 Week. You might notice there's a theme with the first three songs.
What, they all have one in?
Yeah, they all start with one. Yeah,
Well,
little cheeky theme in there for you.
is that a number one joke?
Well, that's not in here because we've already had it. But
Are you bullying me? But no, I'm gonna say
hey,
that this one
you
did.
like number one. You said it yourself.
Yeah, well, yeah. I enjoyed it.
Number
Um,
one. Yeah, 1 Week. That's your song title.
yeah, so it did reach number one.
Mm.
Again, no clue who's but he did it. Uh, wait, actually, I'm gonna sacrifice. So who did it, and that'll give me a hint for time frame.
It was the Bare Naked Ladies.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna say 2005.
Oh, you actually know who the Bare Naked Ladies are? Hmm.
Of course I do.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Do you know what song they did?
Yeah, they did 1
The
week.
the Big Bang Theory theme.
They did, didn't they? Yeah, yeah. Of course.
This is like when you thought I wouldn't know the Charlie Daniels band.
Yeah. Oh, there we go then.
Oh,
You only know them because of the Big Bang Theory theme, though, don't you?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't be. Oh, you're ruining all the credibility I have
So,
in the
what
music
was it you
industry.
said? Sorry, you said yes and 2005.
Yeah.
Nil point. Even still.
Oh, I
It
probably should
was
have said no if it was the Bare Naked Lady.
yeah. Bare Naked Ladies never hit number one. This was actually their biggest hit on the charts, released in 1999. If I sing you some of the lyrics, you might get it. It goes.
Well, I'm 0-9 so far. So
I actually know a lot of the words to this song, which I'm not super proud of, but it's because I used to listen to it quite a lot. The lyrics are: It's been 1 week since you looked at me, cocked your head to the side and said I'm angry. 3 days since you laughed at me, said get back together, come back and see me. 3 days since the living room. I don't know the rest of the words after that point.
I don't think we're
Me,
getting Jack things anytime
I'm
soon. So
sorry.
um,
I'm sorry. What tune? 1 Week by the Bare Naked
Peter
Ladies.
Griffin thing.
Well, no, that's what they sing like. They sing like Peter Griffin. Chorus is the only good part of that song. The actual verse is a bit naff. Like they try and rap, but they can't
Oh,
rap. Like there's a bar about Aquaman in there as well. I can't remember what the
teach
bar
and
is.
anyone.
I just know they mention Aquaman. But yeah, you are on 0 points of 9.
0.
Nil point.
No. What?
So, song title number 4. I would hope you'd get this, or at least part of it. Your song title is Want to Want Me.
Who's the artist?
Okay, sacrificing a point. Your artist is Jason Derulo.
Yeah, I don't know anything by Jason.
Oh my god, you don't even know Jason Derulo.
I'm gonna say just because none of these songs have hit number one yet, I'm gonna say it did. Otherwise, this will be very shit. Um, let's see here. Yeah, so it hit number one and 2008.
You get 1 point, so you're on 1 of 12.
Yes.
It did hit number one, but it was 2015 because
Oh,
Jason Derulo surprisingly didn't actually hit his peak until after Usher had like just fucked off. Because that's how I think about this, right? Because obviously, I guess you class Jason Derulo. I was about to say R&B, maybe probably more pop, but I think of it in like sort of time periods. So early 2000s, Akon. Mid 2000s, you got Neo. Early 2010s, Usher. Second half of the 2010s, Jason Derulo. Easy, mate. You don't know any songs by Jason Derulo? Really?
no.
You don't even.
What?
What's the one that was all over the radio?
I could probably
The
point some out, but like just on
well, like
memory.
you'd recognize his voice though, wouldn't you? Like if you heard it in a song,
Yeah,
you'd
yeah.
go, "That's Jason Derulo."
Oh, we did that one last year. Savage Love. That one.
I don't know that one. I'm trying to think of
It, it, was- it was. I'm pretty sure he did it.
what's.
Savage Love. Did the body, did
Oh
the body
yes,
break
no, I know it
your
now.
heart?
Yeah,
That one.
I've never listened to the actual song. I just know like the tune of the song. It goes
Yeah, yeah,
I know that. Yeah, I know the
yeah,
tune
yeah.
of it. What else has he done?
Did that, did that one where it's like he was in a bed.
Yes.
Uh, I don't
I no, I
remember
know
the
the
song.
one
I
you're on
remember the
about.
video.
I know the one you're on about
Everyone
because
kept that
I
mad
remember
about
the
it.
video as well. I just cannot remember the name of it for the life of me. Because like I don't listen to Jason Derulo, but like you, I could list a couple of his songs.
Is he the one where it's like I got lipstick stains on the passport? Is that him? Was that
Maybe
someone?
it could be a Pitbull
I don't know.
song for all I know.
It probably.
Well, you say passport,
All those songs
Mr.
are just like,
Worldwide.
oh, I'm full people.
Yeah, Mr. Pitbull be like,
Met a
Mr.
pretty girl
Worldwide.
last night.
Yeah,
Mr. Worldwide.
I'm just here to remind
Pretty
y'all,
girls in the audience.
it's Polo Walla Caca.
You want to find me? You know where to find me. You know what I mean, Mr. Worldwide.
Out of Miami. You Google the word
I,
Pitbull, I come up before the dog. And that is true, by the way. I checked that the other day. That is actually legitimately true. If you Google Pitbull, he comes up before the dog. That is ridiculous. But anyway,
I just thought, I just thought
enough of our
Pitbull
impressions
is
of
very
Pitbull.
similar to Scotty T. Like just their mannerisms are very similar.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, Pitbull is bald, short, and Brazilian, and Scotty T is tall, buff, has hair, and is from Newcastle. But yeah,
From fucking Newcastle, like
fucking minge magnet me, man. Yeah.
I've
So
been seeing a
song
lot more
title.
Scotty T on my TikTok by the way, and I'm loving it. So thank
Yeah,
you TikTok.
honestly, I'm getting loads of Scott. We're on Scotty
I'm
Talk,
getting
mate.
those.
That's
I
what
don't
we're
know
on.
what it is.
We're on
Scott
Scotty
Talk.
Talk. Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
But yes, yeah. So number 5, your song title is
Oh,
"On the Floor."
is that the one that's like, wait, is that what's like, get on the floor? Is it the Black Eyed Peas?
I will not confirm nor deny that.
I'm gonna say it did reach number one then, and fuck it, 2004.
You get 1 point. It did reach number one. It was 2011. It was released, and it was Pitbull. We were just talking
Oh
about him, of course.
no!
And Jennifer Lopez. Yeah, it's the one where it goes like straight to the dinner to a hookah. Dance the night away.
Oh,
That one.
I
See,
thought
you
it was
know
the
it.
Black Eyed
You know it.
Peas
You know it
one.
now, don't you?
Yeah, that used to be on my
Yeah.
MP3 player. God.
To be fair, I think I actually had that on my back in the day.
I think I've already said about my infamous MP3 player. I used to play it down the mic in COD lobbies. I used to be that kid, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If you were in a COD lobby with me in the 2011 times, I'm
Okay.
sorry. I
Well,
was the cunt.
was. um.
Wow,
So
wow,
for,
wow.
for
Calm
song
down.
title number 6, I'm gonna take you to the year 3000.
It's oh, I don't want to get this right. I
You
don't want
don't
to get
want,
this wrong. Sorry.
right? Oh well.
No,
You could just say like Bruce Springsteen. You don't want to get it
no,
right.
no, no, no. I don't know. I don't know if it's. Is there a muck in there? It's not a. No, it's just busted. Isn't it? Is it busted? Muck busted? Fuck. Uh. Oh, my sister's gonna be so mad at me. Oh,
I'll be mad at you
busted.
because clearly you know it.
Muck busted. No, it's just busted, isn't it?
I'm gonna be
Please.
helpful here. I'll just say yes. It is just busted. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Right. So I'm gonna say it did reach number one. It probably wasn't the year it was released that hit number one, but it's like a British tune. Everyone knows it. Not everyone likes it,
Mm.
but that's
But everyone
you know
knows it.
everyone knows it. Like it's like
It's like
you know
Mr.
it's like a
Brightside.
British tune. Yeah,
Everybody knows the
Mr.
song.
Brightside,
Not
Sweet
everyone likes it.
Caroline, everyone knows it.
I don't like Mr. Brightside. Hot take. Pisses
If
me off.
I can take it or leave it.
Like,
It's
it
not
just
that
pissed me
good.
off. No, it isn't. That's what
That's the thing
gets
that
me
pisses me off.
annoyed because
People don't like it.
everyone acts like, oh, fucking Mr. Brightside is all fucking good. Like, fucking put that on.
That,
Or
that
shag
that's
grannies.
like me with Wonderwall.
Yeah, well, I don't mind Wonderwall. I think I'm
I
probably in the
I
same boat with
fucking
Wonderwall as
hate
you are
Wonderwall.
with Mr. Brightside.
I hate Wonderwall. It's like today is gonna be the day when they're gonna bring it back to you. And then
It's
maybe
not even the best
it's
Oasis song.
boring.
It's not even the
It's
best Oasis song.
fucking
That's the thing.
boring.
Better Oasis
Oh
song.
my
Don't Look Back in Anger.
god.
Don't Look Back in Anger is actually a tune. Like, I don't want to hear any Don't Look Back in Anger
What?
slander.
I
Don't
don't
look
even
back in
know.
slander.
But any um so the year 3000
Yeah.
busted. It did reach number one. I'm gonna say 2005. No, no, I'm gonna say 2000.
Mm, that's not a bad guess. Unfortunately, it is with great sadness in my heart I must inform you, you only actually get 1 point for that.
Did it not reach number
Um,
one?
it peaked at number 2, actually.
How?
Oh,
Re-release
well,
it. The
put
year
it back out.
4000.
Put it back out, but just like rename it slightly. Just like
When was it released?
take the line out where they say they got a song with or an album with Michael Jackson. Take that part out and then re-release it, and you're fine. Yeah.
So
So
when
it
was it
released
released?
in the year of our Lord 2003.
Oh, okay. I would have anyway.
Hmm. But I can see why you would say 2000, because it's 1,000 years.
That's what I thought. Like that'd be smart. Why isn't
Yeah.
it the year
Unfortunately,
3002?
you were being too smart. For the longest time, I actually thought it did come out in 2000 because it sounds like
That
it
makes
came out in
sense.
2000s.
Yeah,
It
you know what I mean.
sounds
Like,
like it came out in the year 2000, but no, it was
oh, look,
the year of our Lord and the year we were both born, 2003.
the year of our
There you go.
Lord. Who's the Lord? Is it me?
Brock Lesnar. That's the year he became
Oh,
WWE champion. Um,
he's not my Lord. I hate Brock.
wow. He won
I
the
don't
title
like
on
him.
the day I was born, and you're gonna slander him like that. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm fine with
So
getting the ring of
you won't leave.
I wouldn't. I'm too privileged for
The
that.
only way you're leaving is in a body bag, man. So song title number 7. Your title is Hero.
Is that hero or heroes?
Hero. Hero.
Okay, so it's not hero.
It is not
Um,
Heroes by, I want to say Coldplay. Is that by?
I thought it was by like an old guy.
No, I don't know. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
there's a Coldplay song called Heroes. I don't listen to Coldplay, so I don't know. But
Is
yeah,
it
so
one where
your
it's
song
like
title
we
is just
can be
Hero.
heroes just for one day? That's hero.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
it's David Bowie. It's David Bowie. Heroes is.
Yeah. Sorry for calling you old. It might
Some
say.
old guy. Fucking hell. David Bowie, a fucking pioneer of the music scene. You just say, oh yeah, some old guy.
No, I thought it was by someone else, not by Bowie.
Disgusting.
But fair enough. Um,
He's dead, by the way.
yeah, yeah. That's why I said rest in peace. Um, yeah, I'm gonna say that Hero did reach number 1. I'm gonna sacrifice a point and ask for the artist if that's all right.
Yeah, that's fine. Your artist is Enrique Iglesias.
Oh, so this would be like what 2004.
Is that your final answer?
Oh, is it a song with that? I can be a hero,
That's
baby.
exactly the song. That is
I love that
exactly the
song.
song. I can
Yeah,
take away your pain.
I'm
What
gonna say
tune?
2004.
Okay, well you'll get 1 point of a possible 2 there, because obviously you sacrificed one. Because it was 2002 Hero released.
Oh,
But yes, it definitely hit number 1. Definitely hit number 1.
everyone.
Couldn't Hero by Enrique Iglesias. Everybody.
Oh,
4. You're on 4, I believe. Because you got
I'm sorry,
well,
Jack.
you got 1 point for the Derulo song, 1 point for On the Floor, 1 point for Year 3000, and 1 point for Hero. So
I'll tell
yeah,
you
you're
what.
on
There's been some like
4.
pretty well-known songs in this one, so I
Yeah,
can't even say
you
that
just
they are
you can't
well-known.
even make an excuse here. You just had an
It's
absolute
just songs
clanger.
that I don't know by the title,
Yeah.
like Hero.
Well, this one, I'll give you a hint
Oh,
ahead
well,
of
when we're done,
time.
I'm listening to that.
Yeah, I'll give you a hint ahead of time. This one is quite a new song. Um,
Okay, okay.
I'm not going to take any
Is that
points away from
newly
you.
popular?
No, new as in released within the last 3 years, kind of a new song. Not like
Okay.
new, not new like it literally came out like the other week. It's not
Came out
like
today, mate.
it's not
Sorry.
like bad. It's not like Bad Habits by Ed Sheeran, kind of new. You know, like that
Oh,
literally
we
came out
all,
like
we
a
all.
couple weeks ago. I don't like that song, but
I would like to say a side note, but I can't
I
really.
like the
It's
video.
like,
I like I like the video for obvious reasons.
yeah, yeah.
Reasons that aren't obvious to the
But I
viewers. But yeah. So your song title for number 8 is I Don't Care.
is this the newly released one?
Yes. Well, like I say, newly released. What I mean is it's released within the last couple of years.
I don't think it is new release. I think it was 2013, wasn't it? And it is, of course.
Oh, listen, I'm giving
Wait,
you a hint
are we
here.
talking?
I'm
Can you
giving you a
confirm?
hint here. I'm giving you a hint here,
Can
Joe,
you
for
confirm?
free.
I might be thinking of the wrong song. It's the one's like I don't care. I love it.
It's not that song. I'll tell you that
Oh,
for free.
okay, okay.
I'll
Well,
tell you
I
that
can
one for
answer
free.
that one. Can I get a bonus point for that one? I can get that one all
Well,
right.
no, because that's not the right. That's not the right song.
So, what's this one? I don't care.
It was released within the last 3 years. That's what I'll say.
Fuck. Okay, I'm gonna sacrifice of punning
For
for the year. That's the
the
first.
year. Okay. 2019. I'll give you another free hint as well. The time period that I got this off the charts from was, going off my memory, May 2019. It was Top of the Pops.
Mm, that's not a time where I'll be listening to music. That was the time when I was playing Fortnite and doing GCSE. No, I wasn't doing well, I was, but
Well, you were doing your
I, was,
GCSEs
I wasn't doing
technically,
well
but
in it.
you were skiving off your French exams and whatnot else. But
That was the mark. That was the mark. But we need to tell that story one day. That's fun. Um, I'm blanking. I don't know. I'm I'm gonna say it did reach number one because I think you sort of gave it away because you said it hit top of the pop.
well, just because it's on
Uh,
Top of the Pops wouldn't strictly
oh,
mean it.
again,
But
I'm gonna say no then. Given the fact that I've not heard about it, I'm gonna say no. And I can't think of an artist, so I'm just gonna say the Bee Gees. I don't know.
the Bee Gees in 2019. Right. Okay.
That's why I don't fucking know. It could
Well,
be the
there you
Bee
go.
Gees.
You get nil points for that. You 4 points.
Oh,
That
you tricked
was
me, you bastard.
I Don't
You
Care.
slipped up.
That was I Don't Care by Ed Sheeran featuring Justin Bieber,
Never
released in
heard of it.
2019. And yes, it did hit number one.
What's it
And
go like?
I don't care. I don't know the words. Yeah, so
Oh,
you know it now.
fucking bitch! I thought it was "I Don't Care" by Icona Pop, released in
I don't
2013.
care. I love it.
If that's all right, by the way,
I don't know
that
if it's
Icona
released in
Pop one, can I get a
2013, but
bonus point?
no, because I can't be bothered to look it up.
Oh,
Um,
if I look it
yeah,
up, can I get a
so
bonus?
no, because you just lie. You
So
tell me all
hard,
of you.
so hard.
So
I
yeah,
think
you're on
next week I need to do top
4 points going into song number 9. This is actually statistically your worst performance in top or flop history
one.
so far. Hopefully you can
How
clutch
is this
up.
gonna work?
No, you've never had this few points going into round number 9.
I know, that's what I mean. Like, how is
That's
this the
considering how
worst?
easy some of these songs are as well.
I
This
know,
is
I've known all, like, well, nearly all of them.
that's embarrassing. Yeah, so song number 9. The title is Paparazzi.
Ooh,
Better fucking know this song.
Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
It must have reached number one. Actually, would it have compared to all the other Lady Gaga songs released at the same time? I doubt it. I doubt. So I'm gonna say no. It didn't reach number one. I reckon it got maybe like a number two. Um, and it was released 2009. We'll say. Let's say
Oh
2009.
my god. Oh
Oh,
my god.
is it a 3-pointer?
He's got all 3.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
cannot believe it.
Oh,
I
it
do
finally
not
happened.
believe my eyes.
It
He's got
finally
all
happened.
3 points. See, I was
Oh, I
just saying,
didn't
this is
think
the
it
worst
ever
performance you've
happened.
ever put in, and you've actually smashed it
Oh,
out of the park there. That is ridiculous.
oh, why couldn't that be round number 10?
Oh,
Oh my god.
that's ridiculous. That is, yeah. So Paparazzi
That
by
is a lot
Lady
of podcast
Gaga,
history there.
released in 2009, and it peaked at number 4, surprisingly.
Wow.
Yeah, that's bloody hell.
Get out, I'm shocked. I'm honestly shocked. I've had a stinker all game,
Yeah, and then
and
you
I
just
just
pull out
clutch
that,
up.
you get the hat trick there. Bloody hell. So yeah, that takes you to 7. So actually, I think your worst performance ever was 6. So this is no longer your worst performance ever.
Way, we did it.
So there we go. We go into the final round, the double or nothing round. Your song title is, and of course you know the rules here, Joe. You have to get all 3 right to get all 6
All
points,
three, yeah.
or you get 0 points. Your song title, I did allude to it earlier. I even sung a little bit. Your song title is Return of the Mac.
Oh, I think, I think that is George Michael. Uh, I'm gonna say it didn't reach number one because that seems. No, to be fair, it seems like one of the songs where I say, "Oh, it didn't reach number one," but it probably did. So I'm gonna say it reached number one, and I'm gonna say it was released in. Oh, why did I leave this one for last? 1984.
Well, Joe, you will be going home with 7 points.
Fuck.
Because
What was wrong?
Return of the Mac, it did hit number one, so you got one
Okay.
of your points right. It was released in 1996, not 1984,
Oh, oh, it
and
wasn't
it
George
was by
Michael, was it?
it was by Mark Morrison, not
Oh.
not George Michael. Have you heard Return of the Mac, Joe? I
I
don't
thought
think he sounds like George Michael.
it sounds like George Michael. It's got like the high
No,
pitched sort
no,
of
it sounds
voice.
like a black man, Joe. It doesn't sound like George Michael.
Oh, oh, I'm
Return of the
embarrassed myself
Mac by
here.
George Michael. 1984.
Shut the fuck up.
He would have still been part of Wham in 1984.
Oh, I
Oh
was gonna
my
say
Jesus
wow. I don't
Lord.
know.
George Michael. Oh my God. That's possibly the
Don't
worst. That's
bully.
possibly
Stop
the worst
bullying
answer
me.
you've given
Stop.
me.
Stop bullying me, please.
You've gone from getting all three to having possibly the biggest clanger in a double or nothing I've ever seen. George Michael. Jeez.
You sound genuinely insulted.
Bloody
That I was so sure. Oh my god.
George.
I'm sorry. Oh.
Ugh. Well, on that terrible disappointment, we end our top or flop segment here with a measly 7 points that somehow isn't even the smallest score Joe's ever got because 6 is actually his low score, I suppose. It wouldn't be a high score. Well, your high score remains at 13.
Fuck.
But
Right.
now
Well,
we move on to your segment of
we're
the show here, don't
we're
we?
gonna turn into some sussy backers right here, and
Ooh,
it's time. It's time for the sus segment. So
it's time.
the finale of Loki was last week. So we've talked about it before it started. We've talked about Suits. And we can still talk about Suits because he's very proud of himself for getting a few theories right. Um, but hey, we all expected the outcome of the show. Hang on,
Hmm.
Didn't you say that Kang wasn't happening?
I thought it wouldn't because Disney has set a precedent for not introducing new villains in the last episode or the last couple of episodes.
Hmm, okay.
Because with Captain America and Winter Soldier and WandaVision, the final villains were established in the episodes leading up to it. Going into Loki, we
Well,
had
to
no
be
idea
fair,
who it was.
we learned that Sharon Carter was the power broker in the final episode.
Yeah, but she wasn't like the main villain,
She
though,
wasn't
was
the
she?
main villain.
It was
Yeah,
the
yeah, I
Flag
know who.
Smashers. It was the Flag Smashers.
It was the
Where,
government.
whereas Kang was actually the main villain, I suppose, because he's the guy behind the
I don't even know
TVA.
who the main villain could be considered.
I guess you would just say
To
just
be
the
fair.
TVA, I suppose. They're
I,
like,
I I would say the biggest villain of the entire show was the person who fucked up the time.
so Loki then.
Sylvie. This scant.
Wow. Wow.
I didn't like the character Sylvie. Uh,
I thought she was a bit strange at points. Like a couple of her decisions she made were odd.
they weren't the right call.
No.
At a lot of the points. I like this because we're rambling, but it's also fitting with the topic. So, yeah, so there was a lot of. I mean, the whole point of the show was villains, I suppose, but at the same time, there wasn't really a villain. I remember
Mm.
getting into a debate. This was the day after the first episode came out. I think it was the same day actually. Um, I went into college and my friend he was like, "Oh yeah, Loki's the villain." And I was just like, "No, no, just by the first episode, he seems like he's at a point where he understands where he is in the world and he understands that he's just destined to die and that he's set onto a right path here." Um, and he was just like, he pulled up a picture of the Loki poster where it was just like 2012 Loki, just like looking a bit evil. And I was like, look at his face, he's evil. And I was just like, well, that hardly proves anything. But okay, sure. But yeah, so the whole thing about Loki was who is the real villain here, and I guess it was partly the TVA, it was partly Loki, partly Sylvie, and it was just a fucking weird show.
The real villain was the friends we made along the way.
Exactly. Well, it was like we
Yeah.
we had
See,
Loki's along the way.
there's layers to that answer. Is it a joke
So,
or is it real?
so who was your favorite character, and why is it classic Loki?
Um, it was probably Owen Wilson actually. Over the whole thing, probably Owen Wilson. I thought he was very good. Um, yeah. I'm trying to think of what to really say about him because, to be fair, he doesn't actually appear as much as we were led to believe. Like
Oh no,
other than the first two episodes, he sort of isn't there very much. But yeah, I thought he played his role perfectly. I like the sort of friendship, sort of not really friendship thing he has going on with Loki. Um, I guess I like the relationship between him and what's her name, Renslayer. Um, yeah, he's all right. Who else?
I liked that Mobius wasn't in it that much.
Yeah, well, they sort of built it up
I
like he was
think
going to be a
they
bigger part, didn't they?
yeah, they could have easily ruined him, but I'm glad that they kept his parts like not small,
Yeah.
but like sort of
Yeah,
like still
not small,
mysterious.
but not as big as we anticipated. Yeah,
Like 'cause we still don't know what he was like in his life before.
I'm assuming it probably had
Like,
something to do with jet skis.
I couldn't see that happening.
Well,
Like,
do remember he had his jet ski magazine, so
yeah. No. I know he's
like
linked to jet
they
skis,
wipe.
but like,
Well, don't they
just
say
how he
right?
looks.
They wipe their memories, and then
Yeah.
like over time, the memories are still there, but they're sort of like locked behind like a door or something. Maybe he like a couple like bits and bobs sort of seep through the cracks, and that's how like he remembers like he used to do stuff with
No,
jet skis. I don't know.
I know jet.
Maybe when he was a young man, maybe he was a jet ski operator. Who
Maybe when he
knows?
was younger, but how he looks, like Renslayer looks like a fucking high school principal,
Renslayer they took from a high school thing, didn't they? Because
and
it looks like a high
and
school
the other
teacher.
one,
Oh, the girl.
the
Yeah.
young one with the drink, like she looked
Yes.
like someone who went out with drink. But
Yeah.
Mobius, I couldn't see him riding a jet ski. I couldn't.
Well, you say that. Maybe he was just like a lifeguard. I could see
Maybe
him
it's
being
like
a lifeguard.
maybe he was a salesman of jet
Yeah,
skis.
maybe he was a jet ski
Never knew.
salesman. There you go. He lived in Florida,
That's my
probably.
fanfic for him.
He lived in Florida, probably, because I can't think of anywhere else in the US that sell jet skis.
Maybe he got killed by Gator Loki.
Yeah,
They
there you go.
pruned him. They pruned both of
Perhaps. Perhaps.
To be fair, that would be a really cool fan fiction.
Yeah, little side story. Gator Loki and
Wow, who are
Mobius go
you?
jet skiing.
You're a gator with horns.
It's a wait that's an alligator with a hat on. Wow,
You gotta see this. Wow.
wow.
Uh,
It's just
I
all it's
like how whenever anyone does an Owen Wilson
Owen
impression, it's
Wilson is
just
always wow. Yeah, wow. He doesn't even say it that much. That's the thing. Like he didn't say
the
it.
closest you get.
He didn't say it in
Oh,
Loki, which I was very disappointed by.
well, the closest he gets is how he goes,
How?
"Ow."
He goes how?
But I agree because I saw a video. It was like every time Owen Wilson says "wow," and across all
Wow.
films, he only says like twice a film, which I guess is a
I was
lot.
gonna say like, but most of the films he says it in are his most iconic ones. Like I'm pretty sure he says it in Marley and Me. I know he says
Oh,
it.
he says it in
uh,
like every film he's in. I think that's the point
Yeah, he says it
behind
in
it.
Cars. I
But he
know he
doesn't
says it in
actually.
Cars.
It's like the Pizza Planet truck
With a little bit of
in like
rusties
in
and a
Pixar
lot of
films.
luck. Tell you what, I need to watch Cars again. Cars are a good film.
Watch Cars 2.
I'm not watching Cars 2.
So,
Cars 2 is not a good film.
I
Only
like that as a kid.
only way to watch Cars
Uh,
2 is to eat beans.
oh, actually, speaking of Gator Loki, have you seen the? I was thinking of Lightning McQueen Croc. But have you seen the Gator Loki Croc?
I have not, and I don't think I want to.
Oh, they're mint. The fucking mint, like. Uh,
Fucking, fucking gun lodge, mate.
but no, honestly, they look cool. But
I'll
anyway,
take your word
enough
for it.
about Crocs. Hey, Crocs. I just got it in my head.
Banter,
Um,
banter, haha, banter.
but anyway,
Yeah, so
so
Loki.
what was
It
your
was
favorite
alright.
episode?
The one with the train. Probably, what was that, episode 3? Or maybe episode 4,
Wow.
actually. Maybe episode 4, actually.
I was gonna say like you said you enjoyed that one a lot.
I did, yeah. Well, I liked episode 3 a lot as well. It felt very Doctor Who-y. And I like Doctor Who. Well,
I
I
didn't really like episode three.
liked Doctor Who. I liked Doctor Who until the writing fell off
So
a
the cast
cliff.
of woman. Yeah,
No, it's because they got a
you're
new
not
writer. They replaced the writers at the same time, so it didn't really help its situation.
yeah, people always blame Jodie. So
Well, actually, to be fair, a lot of like Doctor Who fans they don't blame Jodie. They blame and that's why Doctor Who hasn't come back for years
I
because
mean that
nobody
the
wanted to
people who
watch it anymore.
blame her are just like casual fans.
Oh yeah, no,
So
they're casuals who are like, "Ugh." But to be fair, her performance isn't always great. Like, obviously, she's not the one to blame for the general like problems with the show, but her performance in quite a few of the episodes is a little bit subpar. But back to
what
Loki.
you're gonna say?
I could talk about, or rather, complain about Doctor Who all day, but we're talking about Loki.
My favorite episode was I have two which I think are on par.
Yeah,
Um, episode 4 and episode 5. I just really enjoyed both of them. I love the classic
episode 5 was
Loki,
good. I liked
like
episode 5.
the redemption of classic Loki. That was incredibly emotional,
The redemption of DZ
and
Nuts.
it was it was like emotional, and it was
It's gonna be
just
emotional.
deserved. And it showed the Lokis like the potential they had.
Yeah, and the thing is,
It
he only
it
had.
finally gave
It was
meaning
all in the space
to
of one episode. That's the best part.
exactly. It finally gave
He
meaning
managed to
to
actually
the word
do something.
glorious purpose, which we've been hearing since what Avengers, and
Yeah, might have been Thor. Actually, I'm not sure. Might have said
might
in
have
Thor.
even been Thor. But I remember when yeah, 'cause doesn't he like say it to Thor in the first
Probably.
Thor, like when he's in
It's
the
been a
prison?
long time. It's been a long time since I actually watched
But
the
I
first
remember in
Thor.
Avengers he
Like a
says
very
like
long
Nick
time.
Fury and stuff.
Yes, he does.
Um,
Yeah. I remember
yeah,
that.
it's
I
just a
remember that.
line we've been hit. To be fair, a lot of things this year have been paying off from Avengers. Like Are we gonna get into Black Widow spoilers?
I don't care. We can if you
Okay,
want.
well, cover your ears, fellas, because they paid off Loki's line to Black Widow, where it's like, can you really wipe off that much bread in your ledger, Dracov's daughter? And then we find out in Black Widow, she killed, quotation, Dracov's daughter,
Wow.
uh, in Budapest, and that
Oh
also
my
pays off
god.
Avengers when they talk about Budapest. Um,
So it does. No Hawkeye there though.
no, well, he's in it, but
Well, yeah.
yeah.
Maybe they'll mention it in the Hawkeye show. Maybe they'll just redo it again. Hawkeye show. They'll just show the clip.
Can we talk about Loki episode 6? That incredible intro. I love that
Was it?
bloody like Marvel
Oh,
Studios
oh,
and
right,
then
yeah.
when it's zoomed through like black hole and
I thought
stuff.
you were talking about like the actual like the start of the show where like they just Miss Minutes comes out and is like, listen,
Oh, that
I can
fucking
give you a universe
scared
where
the
you both
shit
rule
out of me.
together, and it's like that
It's just
was
like it's just
she.
silence. It's like, hey y'all.
Yeah, it didn't scare me.
Oh,
Probably to be fair, I didn't really have my sound on very high.
all right, calm
Ep-
down. Calm down.
Episode
It made me
6.
jump.
I like. I feel bad saying this. I didn't actually like episode 6 very much.
It was very boring, but it was good for the reveals, I guess.
Oh, even then, like, I didn't think the reveals were that good. Like,
That's what a lot of
I
Loki
did.
was for me. It was like
I know. I did say
boring, but like there
Kang.
was good reveals.
Yeah, I know. I did say I didn't think Kang was gonna be in it, but at the same time, when he showed up, I was like, oh, it's Kang. Like,
It's gotta be Kang.
I didn't really care that much, and I know they're in establishing like, ooh, there's gonna be all these hundreds of millions of different Kangs going to attack at the same time. The thing is, we're not going to get payoff for that for like at least a year, 2 years. Like, what? I know Kang is in Quantumania, which is like 2023, I think. I feel like he'll also be in the new Doctor Strange movie.
I think he'll just like
Or at least
appear.
he'll show up. Here you go. Right, so, yeah, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness is March 2022. So we still got like 9 months. But
I reckon he'll do a Thanos, like the odd credit scene here. Maybe he'll be in like a scene, like you know how like Thanos was in like Guardians of the Galaxy, and then like he was in Age of Ultron in the credit scene.
yeah, like I say, I think because they're dealing with
That's what they'll
multiverse
probably do.
stuff, Kang mentioned multiverses. Therefore, it's quite obvious Kang is going to appear probably as like an end credits thing. But
Yeah,
he's gonna appear at least like for a bit, right? Because that's what Kang is the next big. He's the big villain of Phase 4, isn't he? Let's be real.
mm.
He's being built
Well,
up
I
as the
reckon he'll
big
be like
villain of
Phase
Phase
Four,
4.
maybe even six.
No,
We know
I
a
don't
lot
know.
about well, no, because we know a lot about some of the Phase 5 stuff already, and it's not really
Yeah,
leading. Like we're not really leading to it. Like I don't think like he'll
I
be
think Kang
like
Kang
in
is going to be
Thor
this phase.
or
I think Kang is going to be
I
this
doubt he'll be
phase.
in
I think
Captain America 4.
the only reason I think Kang is this phase is because they have at least 3 movies that are all going to deal with multiverses. In Quantumania, which obviously is not confirmed it's multiverses, but like you can tell, can't you? So you've got
Yeah,
Quantumania, you've got Multiverse of Madness, which it's in the name, and No Way Home, where I mean, listen, right?
it's a shoot.
Again,
Well, we know
again,
Doctor Strange is in
again.
it.
We
So.
yeah, well, we know Doctor Strange is in it, and from leaks, and this is a potential spoiler, so cover your ears if you don't want to hear this. Um, we know he's got a magic suit, which could either be A, he becomes the new Sorcerer Supreme, B, Strange gives it to him, or C, it's a multiverse thing, because there is obviously a Marvel universe where Spider-Man is the Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah, and
So
we're seeing that in What If, aren't we?
yes, yeah, but the thing is, this Spider-Man suit is for No Way Home. So
Yeah.
all I'm saying is there's a lot of evidence pointing towards this being for multiverses, and obviously we know Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire are obviously they've been spotted in set pictures, which obviously spoiled a lot of it, but you know,
I hope that they aren't in it as Spider-Man.
I know I think they will be,
I
but
think they
I
will
don't.
be, but I hope they
But
aren't.
this is the key thing for me. I don't think there'll be major roles. I think there'll be cameos. I don't think
Yeah, I hope that's
Marvel.
what it is. It
I
is.
think what it's going to be is like, because I'm sure, obviously, as I said, Peter's got his magic suit. I think
When
Doctor
you said
Strange
Peter, I
is
thought of Peter Griffin. Sorry.
Peter. I think Strange. Well, Strange can look into different universes, as we know. I think Strange is going to show him how to travel between these universes, and he's going to hop between the universes because he's going to need to beat some big villain, and he'll need to, I don't know, go to other universes to learn how to beat him or whatever. I think that's going to be to do with the plot, right? He's gonna beat them by going to these different universes, and while in these different universes, he's gonna meet the other Spider-Man. I think that's the most likely thing that's gonna happen. I don't think there'll be major roles. Maybe Maguire. I'd assume he would probably have a more major role than Garfield, because Andrew Garfield, he sucks. He sucks. Bad. But yeah, I just feel like they're going to be like cameo roles, really.
Yeah, I really hope they don't have big roles because
I'd like to see
what I
Tobey
feel
Maguire
like,
in a major role, but it won't happen.
well, if I hope that they have him as a Spider-Man, but I hope it's not the
Yeah.
same Spider-Man as the Sam Raimi films
No, you
because
probably.
I
No,
like.
I think the difference will be he will be the Sam Raimi Spider-Man, but it will be years in the future, like caught up.
Yeah, maybe, but
Like
what?
Andrew Garfield's will probably look the same, but Tobey Maguire, there's been 15 years of difference between Spider-Man 3 and now. Tobey Maguire's obviously a lot older, so I think what it's going to be more like Into the Spider-Verse, where obviously the Peter Parker that comes in that, he's like, he's this overweight, out of shape, like he's only really doing it just because he's broke. Like I think
Hmm.
Maguire's going to be probably more along that kind of a line rather than the traditional like Sam Raimi Spider-Man kind of guy. I think
Oh, they're doing it
there'll
again.
obviously be
Sorry, sorry,
elements.
sorry.
Sorry. Yeah. So
No, 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 no. That's me. Sorry.
yeah.
Oh
So
God.
there'll obviously be elements of
Just
um Sam Raimi, like the Sam Raimi character elements and stuff, but just maybe he's older and he's more jaded and he's like, yeah, I'm from New York. Uh, boppity boopity, pizza time.
sorry. I'm just to explain why I'm so mad. Every day someone goes past my house with a
Every
speaker.
day I wake up.
No, honestly, every day someone goes past my house with a speaker, and on every time it pisses me off that little bit more, and it literally just happened,
I'll just
as you
open the
may
window
have
and
heard.
just scream at him. Just go, shut up!
Well, the window's
Turn
open.
that fucking music. Well, just stick your head out and just go,
It's not the
turn
same
that
guy.
fucking music up.
That was a different person, so it might happen
Wait.
again. Though.
Oh no.
Normally it's a bunch of kids.
But yeah.
That was a man on a bike.
So yeah, Loki. Well, we reviewed it on it. It was all right. Oh, it was fine.
Yeah, it was good.
I don't think it
Good.
was as good as WandaVision or Captain. Sorry, not Captain. Sorry, Falcon and Winter Soldier. Personally, I preferred those two to
I
Loki.
mean, in terms of superhero things, I thought that WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier were better. But in terms of like
But even in storytelling,
cinema,
I
no, I
preferred Falcon
prefer
and Winter
Loki
Soldier
stories.
personally.
Well, I guess
I
so.
think this was better for storytelling than WandaVision. WandaVision sort of
Oh yeah,
took
absolutely.
forever to really start going anywhere, whereas Falcon and Winter Soldier, you already knew what was
I
going
liked
on.
how Falcon and Winter Soldier was more grounded. It was
Yeah.
more, and it had better themes. Like it had the theme of like obviously like racism and just like classism
Yeah.
and the views on like how out of touch the government are with like
Mm,
issues.
mm.
Um, I really enjoyed that. But yeah,
Mm.
I, I I don't know how long this topic's gonna go on for because
Well,
judging by our
I think
messages last
we can
night.
just sort of finish it there, really, for that one.
No, I was already moving on.
Oh,
I'm on
right, yeah.
topic now. Yeah,
This
judging by
one,
our
I don't
messages
think we
last
could go
night,
on.
neither of us are really caring about this, but I think it's important to bring up because this sort of started out as more of like a sports podcast in terms of
I
wrestling,
guess.
I mean, and the Euros.
Lots of
But
entertainment.
exactly. So we're going to be talking about the Olympics. Uh,
Very quickly, of
I'll be
course.
hyped for them.
No.
I feel like every year I get excited and we never win it. Team GB.
Well, it's not every
Um,
year, it's every 4 years, Joe.
well, yeah. Well, technically every two if you follow the Winter Olympics, but no one does.
Well, bro, Winter Olympics.
Winter
I
Olympics.
actually prefer the Winter Olympics in terms of what they do, but actually watching it
Yeah,
is so boring. Like, it's really boring to watch. But I enjoy the sports they do in that. Like skiing, A1, bro. I love a bit of skiing.
from a games
From
perspective,
downtown.
if if I had to pick between Mario and Sonic at the Winter Olympics, Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games,
Yeah,
I would choose
you'd
Winter
pick the
Olympics.
yeah.
I've never bought any of them guides games.
I haven't bought them, but I do own two of them because I got them for like presents or whatever. As gifts.
I never really bought many of them games, like
Mm.
multiplayer games. I never really had anyone to play it with. Bad backstory. Um,
What did I had Mario and Sonic at
Superior.
games. The original Olympic Games on the Wii. Well, I still have it. The disc is somewhere. And what else? I had the London 2012 one on the 3DS. So there you go. Had like a whole like
Can I
story mode and everything. It was weird.
speak of disc quickly? So you know the store Sex, or other people call it CEX.
I call it CEX. Yes.
You're wrong,
Don't
but
want to get
yeah.
demonetized. Don't want to get demonetized, Joe.
I always got told off by my mother because I always just say sex.
Yeah, she
And
goes, Oi!
every day I
Tries to
tried to
explain
prove
it to
to
her.
her that's how it's said.
I'll just call it CEX.
No, because I'm not doing
You're
that.
gonna.
I'm not being
Well,
right.
you don't call VHS VS, do you?
Yeah, because that's not a brand.
Yeah, it is. VHS is a brand,
Well,
you
well
melon.
yeah, but the brand isn't Viz, is it? It's VHS.
Yeah.
Because like
Well,
that
CEX, it's literally fucking what's it called? Not an
that's how it's said
anachronism.
though. But anyway,
It's like GIF and
that's not
GIF.
my
I
point.
don't call it
That's
a
not
GIF. I call it a GIF.
that's
Call it
not my
whatever the
point.
fuck I want.
But so yeah, we went there. What my dad's he likes to like collect Blu-rays,
Ew.
and there was a few of the MCU films that he didn't have on Blu-ray. So every time we go, he always forgets to fucking buy him. So I told him take a picture of him. So we did, and we went to CX. He bought him. And we found two we didn't have, which was Iron Man and Iron Man 3. We didn't find he had Captain America Winter Soldier, which he didn't have. Couldn't find them. But so we saw them ones, and we went to the counter, and they were just like, because obviously the discs weren't inside boxes. They were just like, oh, we can't find um the right disc for this box, and I was just like, what? Hang on, how do you have more boxes than discs?
That's quite funny.
That like, I went to my dad. I was genuinely agitated. I was just like, how? You know
That's
what I mean?
weird.
Like,
Well, to be fair, discs could get damaged or broken or whatever in
what I,
storage.
what we came to, the decision we came to, is that maybe they
Just
gave
watch
off
them on
the
Disney
wrong
Plus
disc
instead.
because, well, what they said was, we only have the two disc version, not the one disc version. But my dad picked up the one disc box,
Yeah.
so in the end, we just took the two disc, and we got it
Fine.
for 50 pence cheaper. So
Wow.
I know. Um, but yeah, how weird is that? What we came to was they probably just gave the wrong disc to the wrong people.
Yeah.
Like someone brought a two disc box, but
Yeah, they
they only
just
got
gave him the
one disc,
single disc. Yeah, yeah.
which I mean, that's bad, but
Yeah, yeah.
what is whatever.
Fun
It doesn't
fact
bother
about
me.
Iron Man 3, it was the final Marvel film to have the Paramount logo at the start. There you go.
Hmm.
Interesting fact with Jack and Joe.
Joe Dick and Balls and Jobber.
Another fun fact, it was also the first one produced by Marvel Studios after they'd been bought by Disney. Of the Iron Man films, that is. But it still had the Paramount logo,
Pretty smug. Uh,
which is, again, fun fact. Do I have any other fun facts about Iron Man 3? Probably. Um, yes, I do. They were. You know how the Mandarin is quote unquote in Iron Man 3?
yeah.
Uh,
So,
Originally, they were planning to do that in Iron Man 2, but they decided not to because they thought it'd be very hard to do a not racist version of the Mandarin. Which is fair,
yeah.
because, I mean, if you go off the Iron Man version, Genghis Khan with magic. So, yeah, I can see why they chose not to. A little bit problematic, if you ask me.
I mean, we'll see the real one is Shang-Chi.
Yeah. And then, like, Shangus Chius.
Oh, Shang-Chi. That's not.
Whoa!
That's
Whoa!
not racist. No, no. I was just doing.
Calm
Just
down,
doing.
Joe.
I wasn't meant to be racist. Hang
Bloody
on.
hell.
I was just meant to do like a fucking. Oh, I've dug myself a
Not
hole.
to
It
be
wasn't meant to be
racist
racist.
or anything, but Asian peoples, huh?
Uh,
Banter. Yeah. See, we've gone completely off from the Olympic Games to start talking about Iron Man.
well, no, hang on.
Oh, you getting back to it? Okay.
We could link it. Uh,
Um. Oh,
is
I've got one.
Iron
Iron
Man?
Man 2. They go to the Monaco Grand Prix. Um,
I
Monaco
was
is
trying to link
a
it to Japan.
Monaco is a independent state just off the coast of France. France are one of the nations that compete in the Olympics. There you go. Monaco don't compete. Probably only got like 7 people who'd be willing to compete in the entire country of Monaco.
Probably get like builders.
Yeah, honestly. But the only people who like actively live in Monaco are like people who aren't from Monaco. It's just rich people who go there for tax evasion. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So yeah, back to the Olympics, or
Back to the Olympics.
what else is there for us to say about the Olympics? We've already said we don't care.
We don't
Like,
care.
what do what what do we say? Just the Olympics is happening, and I don't care. Like the song by Ed Sheeran featuring Justin Bieber, which Joe didn't know. But he
Anyway,
does
on
now.
to our next point.
Yep.
The next thing is something I really like. That terrible segue, but
I mean,
um
like it.
but yeah. So our next point is Final Fantasy VII. Now let's start off. Have you played Final Fantasy VII?
I've played some of it. Not a lot,
Uh,
mind. I've played the first 2 hours. 2 hours of it, yeah.
oh yeah, we talked about this earlier in the year, didn't we, on our Discord? So did you
Yeah,
play
I
the
was gonna say,
remake, the
no,
original?
no, I played the original.
Okay. Uh,
I don't
I
think it
think
would
if
have
we
been
stay
much
more on
different
the,
if I played the remake. It just would have looked
I think
nicer.
if we stick with the remake for this segment, I guess we could
Oh,
talk about the remake
I was gonna
someday.
say I haven't played the remake.
I haven't played it much, but yeah. So the thing I love about Final Fantasy is it's just like it's one of the staple RPGs that well, like game. It's just one of the staple games that people need to play,
I
and
don't need to.
they do. If you haven't played it, you're a poop. And but yeah, so it's one of these games where it's just so incredible and it's so good. Like the storytelling's great, the gameplay's great. Well, depending on how you feel about timed RPGs. The first time I played it, I really struggled with the combat because I like to take things slow, but you got to sort of
You gotta actually speed up.
you got to well you'd have to rush it I suppose, but you got to time it right.
Yeah,
Like you don't want to do it quickly because then you'll have nothing to do while people attack you. But you don't want to wait too long because then you're just vulnerable. So it's all about learning the timing and mechanics and yeah, so how far have you got in the
probably
game?
like two
So I can
hours.
avoid
I couldn't
spoilers.
tell you where I got to because it's
But
been months since No, I haven't. I got past the bit.
I've been like literally twice, so I have to say a couple. But yeah, I think it's really good. It's one of them games where it's like it's a staple of the game industry, as I've said. And if you haven't played it, then you don't truly like you can't judge any other game fairly because
Yeah, you
it's that
can.
good.
You
I, I, I
can.
I feel like Final Fantasy VII,
Well,
Mario 64, and Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. They're like the three best games of their like genre. Like
what about other genres though? There's more
well,
than three genres of games, Joe.
I know, but they're like the three best games of all time, and they're like the three that best
Mm.
showcase their. Well, it's debatable, I guess, but
For the time they
I,
were released, maybe. I wouldn't say they are now. Especially Mario
I mean,
64.
it like, yeah, but they're like the staples. They're the history of the game industry, I guess, and they're just good.
Well,
I
by
think
that, well,
Final
by that logic,
Fantasy isn't
isn't Pong the best video game of all time?
well.
Because it was the first commercially released video game. ever.
Hey, no, I'm saying they're the best of all time,
Yeah,
not just of their time.
Pong. Pong. Well, they're not the best of all time, though, are they? You just admitted
They
yourself Super
are.
Mario.
They are.
You're trying to tell me Super Mario 64 is better than Odyssey? It's a better game than Breath of the Wild. It's a better game than.
Or Breath of the
Uh,
Wild is.
it's a better game than what am I trying to think of? Fucking Doom. It's a better game than Skyrim. It's a better
Well,
game
they're one of the
than.
most influential, at least.
Well, yeah, but if you look at more modern examples, Skyrim is incredibly influential. GTA 4, GTA 3 rather.
But
GTA
that's beside
3
the point.
is incredibly influential.
That's
It's
beside
not
the
it's
point.
not limited to just the three, Joe.
That
They're not the
well,
most influential games of all time because there are other games that have been as equally influential. Final Fantasy was only influential in the RPG sphere. Ocarina of Time was influential in the 3D, I guess, open world adventure sphere, and Super Mario 64 was influential in the 3D platformer sphere. Like, I know they're the only three spheres you play, but there are several other genres, Joe.
I mean, yeah, I know, I
Like
completely accept.
GoldenEye 007 is, I would argue, more influential in
Oh
terms
yeah,
of
yeah.
what it's done than Final Fantasy
For the
7.
multiplayer, like first person shooter,
Because if it weren't for GoldenEye 007, we wouldn't have Call of Duty, Battlefield, and I guess if you like break it down even further, you wouldn't have even games like Fortnite. Like, if you really boil it down, for my money, I would say GoldenEye's more influential than 7. Final Fantasy 7, yeah, it's one of the best JRPGs ever, but JRPGs had existed for a long time beforehand, and they've existed
yeah.
ever since, using very similar systems to what existed before Final Fantasy 7. Because Final Fantasy 7 didn't really influence as much as you seem to think it did. What it did was it helped popularize a genre rather than
Well,
influence a
yeah.
genre. Because Dragon Quest 3 is more influential to the JRPG genre than Final Fantasy 7. Because if it weren't for Dragon Quest 3, there wouldn't be class systems in RPGs. That's literally the first RPG to introduce a class system. So it's very bold to say that it's the most influential RPG, for example, because it isn't.
I probably shouldn't have used like the most, but like it's still up there
But yes,
with
in its own sphere, yes.
yeah.
What's
But
outside of
that,
RPGs, it's not influential. The
that's
only thing it's
beside
influenced is designs, maybe,
that,
and storytelling.
that, that's beside the point, I guess. But what I'm trying to say is, I I think that it's among.
Us.
I'm trying to think of a thing. Oh, I don't know. Fuck it. Right. Whatever. So
I've been
I think
absolutely trolled.
I still think. Oh, I don't know.
Well,
Whatever.
okay,
But
okay,
yeah.
well, okay, well, make your case then. Why is it the most influential then?
No, I shouldn't have said most, but it's still one of.
Okay, okay, well, make your case then. Why? Because
Right.
anyone can say it is, but then if you don't explain it, then well,
So
how would we know?
it really originated what we consider to be a big game, I guess, because it was over what 3 discs.
Yeah,
It was
it was a three
it was
disc game. Yeah,
it was an incredibly long game. It really like pushed the hardware of the time. It was the music was fantastic, but it still kept sort of classic
I was going to say it's an
Final
orchestral score, but it
Fantasy.
wasn't. No, it's the remake is an orchestral score, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, most Square Enix games now do, except like Avengers.
Mm.
Um, that would be funny. But no, so yeah, it really pushed the hardware of the time, and it sort of like broke the mold, I guess. It sort of took RPGs like this certainly wasn't like they're doing, but it certainly helped take RPGs away from, oh, I'm a knight in a castle. Uh, let's just go save a princess, and it more took it to like it has themes on the the world and like
Yeah, it
pollution
has
and
real life themes. Yeah.
like the government and like it's relate yeah, it's relatable and it's just something you can just sit back and play, and you can sort of take it seriously, and you can sort of just like sit back and relax. It wasn't too grindy, I thought, um, and it had just a lot to do, and I really like the characters in it, and yeah,
Okay.
that's that's. I hope that's more of a better answer than I just like it, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
But
Well, yeah.
yeah,
It, I can't really give a huge opinion on it because, like I say, I've only played about 2 hours of it, and I am. I'll admit it myself. I'm not the biggest fan of RPGs, so like I didn't really. I guess I don't, it's harsh saying I didn't enjoy it, but like I didn't care for it when I played it. It like I was playing it and I wasn't paying attention to it. That's what it was like for me.
I
And
mean, modern day games are so
yeah,
fast paced
well,
now.
yeah,
Final Fantasy doesn't really
it's
work
it's a
nowadays.
victim of modern games probably doing a lot more to try and grab your attention.
That's what
Uh,
Final Fantasies nowadays are more like Kingdom Hearts. Like
yeah, I guess.
they're just more like actual like
Well,
you're
like
actually like
if you look at like Final Fantasy 15, that's more of an action game, really, than an
yeah
RPG.
like
Like how
Lightning in the
Kingdom
RPG
Hearts is an
really.
action game. It's not an RPG. Well, it's not an RPG,
It's
but
an
it has
action
RPG
RPG.
elements. It's
Yeah.
like you could say that for so many games. Like, Skyrim isn't really an RPG, but there are RPG elements. You know, like level up systems and like skill points and all that kind of shit. You know, it's RPG elements, yes. But I yeah, when you said most influential, that's what like
I
got
shouldn't
me
have said most
because
because I don't really believe
yeah,
that.
I was gonna say because it isn't really, is it? Like
No.
it's a very well selling game and its influence on its own medium of JRPGs is commendable. You know, a large influence on a lot of JRPGs and a lot of even franchises outside of it. Like you know, the designs for Final Fantasy VII, like the whole like design work for that, you can see influence from that in a lot of other media. Like you know, you look at Devil May Cry. Devil May Cry, a lot of the character designs feel sort of like they've taken Final Fantasy VII kind of designs and then they've just changed them to fit their genre. You know, like they've got the crazy hair, they've got the slightly off body proportions. Although obviously you know it's more realistic in Devil May Cry, but you know you see influences of it in a lot of other things. I just think saying it's the most influential, I would agree with 64, Super Mario 64, and I would agree with Ocarina of Time. But Final Fantasy VII, I couldn't agree with because, yeah, it's influential to RPGs, but I will say RPG fans have a horrible tendency to think that their genre is a lot larger than it is when it isn't.
Oh well, it was huge back in the day,
Cough,
but
cough.
now
Persona
modern day.
fans, cough, cough. Persona fans seem to
Yeah.
think that that game is fucking everybody knows Persona. No, no.
Just because it was in Smash, calm down.
Yeah, just because it's in Smash doesn't mean like you get
Oh,
people
oh,
who
that's the same with Smash fans. They're just like, oh,
well, like
it's got to
they're
be a
the
big
same kind of
game to
people.
get
They're the
in.
same kind of people who say, "Oh, why is Kazuya from Tekken in Smash? Why is Kazuya from Tekken in Smash? Tekken 3 is the fourth best-selling fighting game of all time, ahead of all of the Smash Bros. Games. Why do you fucking think he's in the game? Fucking retards,
Over.
honestly, piss me off, man."
Anyway, let's. I'm gonna have to go in a second.
Yeah,
So,
we'll call
think.
it to an end here. We'll call it to and on a slightly sour note for myself.
Well, no, I think it's sort of an interesting thing to talk about. Like what we think is like.
Yeah, well, obviously, you know, you're working into the video game industry. I'm given a more outside opinion. Um,
I
although
mean, the reason I said
I
it
would
was is
say,
because
yeah,
I've researched RPGs a lot for my last
yes,
project.
yeah. Whereas
So
yeah, like,
that's
I
probably why I
I wouldn't
thought it
call
was.
myself like a games expert, but I do know a lot about this kind of thing.
Oh,
I don't know.
okay.
I couldn't tell you how to make a
Fine.
game. I couldn't tell you how to make a game, but I know about the influence of games on the industry and like all this kind of stuff because, you know, I guess video games have been my hobby for the last 15 years of my 18 years of life. So, like I'm very passionate about this kind of stuff and like I know a lot about this kind of stuff, so it's like yeah,
But no. So yeah, that was a good podcast this week. I would say
very long.
it was
Longest episode
it,
we've
it
done, I
was
believe.
well, it's rambly, but it's also sort
Yes.
of
Yeah, no, there was decent
it was
content in there.
topical rambly this time.
Yeah,
I,
yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
Better than it has been in terms of keeping it on topic.
God, it's nearly been 3 hours. Fuck me.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
God,
So
who's gonna sit through this?
yeah, so
Right.
we're definitely going to call it to an end here. Thank you guys for watching. If you've watched it through the whole thing, you're a very brave soul.
Yeah.
Remember to leave a
And let us
like.
know
Yeah,
what
let
you
us know
thought
down
about a lot of our
below if you've actually watched it all the way through, and let us know maybe what you think some of the most influential games of all time is. Uh, and
kind of
if you
yeah, if you
say
said
Chibi
me and that.
Robo, I will come to your house and I will steal your kneecaps. So there you go. Yes, thank you guys for watching. Remember to leave a like, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, share us with your friends, and we'll see you guys next week for episode 20. Ooh.
Bye.
Trash. Absolute trash. I was disgusted.